Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at FilipinoPod101.com.
Hi guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica, and for today we will be learning about Filipino foods. So, you probably know, or probably don't know, that there are many different and delicious Filipino foods. Adobo. Adobo. The first food that everyone should know about is adobo. In English, we also call it adobo. Adobo ang paborito kong pagkaing Pilipino. Adobo is my favorite Filipino dish. So actually, adobo is the first thing that I've ever learned to make. It's the easiest, so you just need soy sauce, vinegar, bay leaf, or laurel leaf, whatever you call them. Sometimes people call them bay leaf, sometimes laurel leaf. And peppercorns, right? And then just boil those things together with pork or chicken or pork and chicken, depending on what you want to eat. And then everything will be nice and soft. Chicharron. Chicharon. Next is Chicharon. In English, Chicharon. Ang chicharon ay gawa sa balat ng baboy. Chicharon is made from pig skin. So it's actually crackling pig skin. Yeah, it's very crunchy. But I saw some show where they made chicharon by putting it in the oven. And I put it in the oven, and then afterwards it came out really crackling. So that's how they made it. But I don't know if that's actually how you make it. I think the most popular brand of chicharon is Lapids. So if you want to try chicharon, try the Lapids chicharon. Just remember that's not very healthy. Try it, don't eat too much. You can also eat it with rice actually. Durian. Durian. Next food is, or fruit is durian. Or actually just durian. Masarap ang durian kahit na may amoy ito. Durian, or durian, is delicious even if it doesn't smell good. Yeah, it actually doesn't smell good. But it tastes nice. To me, it just tastes like jackfruit. I don't know about you. If you want to try durian, you go to the southern part of the Philippines. That's where you can get them cheaper. Yeah, fresher, more potent smell. Go to Davao, get them there fresh, and it's really good. Halo-halo. 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 In English, halo-halo. Tuwing tag-araw, mabenta ang halo-halo. Every summer, halo-halo sells well. So halo-halo is made up of crushed ice with some sweet beans, with different fruits, and sometimes, what other stuff? Nata de coco, or like sweet coconut things. And also leche flan or caramel flan. That's actually how it is, like caramel flan. Or sometimes, what is it? Sweet yam. You know yam, right? Ube. And then sometimes, in some stores, they put ice cream on top of it. When I was young, my aunt actually sells halo-halo. So every summer, she makes halo-halo. And those are the best halo-halo. I don't really like halo-halo in other places. I only like her halo. But she didn't make them anymore because the way you make the crushed ice, it's very manual. Everything is manual. You have this small device, right? You know it, like, to do this with the ice. It's not like you buy crushed ice already. So you have this small, like this device. So for every what's this glass of halo-halo, it takes a lot of time for you to get crushed ice. So my friend here drew halo-halo. And this is it. So this is the crushed ice. And these are the stuff that you can put inside, like sweet beans, some fruits, and then this is the caramel flan or the pudding. And then sometimes they have ice cream here. And then you use the spoon to halo-halo or to mix everything. So that's it. Kare-kare. Kare-kare or peanut stew. Next food is kare-kare. In English, kare-kare. Or, if you really want to be fancy, peanut stew. Masarap magluto ng kare-kare si Joy. Joy cooks delicious peanut stew. If you've already noticed, we always like repeating words for the names of our food. Halo-halo and kare-kare. before when I was young, I only get to eat kare-kare during fiesta. Because it's kind of an expensive food to make. Because traditionally, you would make kare-kare with, how do you call this part?
Tuwalya?
Yeah, tuwalya. How do you say it?
Innards?
Like,
Intestine wall?
something, I think, it's stomach walls, stomach lining,
walls,
right? Originally, it's with stomach lining. So I think that's kind of hard to come by and a bit expensive because you make it with cow innards, right? But it's really good. And then now, you know, people like to eat the fast food. So there's lots of mixes for kare-kare. And before, when you really want to make kare-kare, you have to grind the peanuts by hand, everything by hand, right? To make peanut paste. But now you can just buy mixes and stuff. But still, the original kare-kare is very good. Now you can make it with pork, with beef, with chicken.
Or just vegetarian.
Or you can just use vegetables if you want to be vegetarian. Because it actually has lots of vegetables. Because even though it's peanut sauce, it actually doesn't have, what do you call this? It has taste, but it's not salty, it's not sweet, as if there's no taste at all. So there's taste, but there's no taste at all. It's kind of weird. So you eat it with shrimp paste, or in Filipino, bagoong. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay. But I cannot eat paraga. It's not fiesta yet.
Yeah.
Lechon. Roasted suckling pig. Next is lechon, or roasted suckling pig. Tuwing Pasko, hindi mawawala ang lechon sa pagkaing Pilipino. Every Christmas, roasted suckling pig is always present in Filipino dishes. Lechon is expensive, so you only get lechon. It's an entire pig that's roasted. So usually, you roast it for a long time because you want everything to be even, right? The way it's cooked. And then at the end, you will get this really, like crackling skin. Yeah, very, very crispy. And then you eat it with liver sauce. That's the best. You only get this usually every big festivals or in some families, Christmas. We don't do lechon for Christmas because in the city, you cannot really do actual lechon. But you can buy lechon. What happens is, you get lechon on Christmas, and then the next few days, you get lechon paksiw, which is the meat of the lechon cooked as a stew, right? With the liver sauce, and it's very good. That's my favorite, actually. I like lechon paksiw more than lechon. So this is lechon. I don't know if you can see. Aren't we going to insert pictures here? Here on this side, you will see lechon. Mangga. Mango. Mangga, or mango. Mura lang ang mangga sa Pilipinas. Mango is cheap in the Philippines, and we have the best mangoes. I have a Thai friend. He admits that we have. And those red mangoes that you get in the store, they're not real mangoes. If you want to try real mangoes, go to the Philippines. Yeah, so we have two kinds of mangoes, the yellow ones and the green ones. The yellow ones are the usual, very sweet, very fragrant, best fruit in the world mangoes. The green one is the slightly sour ones that we call actually Indian mangoes. I don't know why. Because they're sour and because Filipinos really like to combine taste, sweet, spicy, sweet, salty, sour together. So we eat this sour green mangoes with shrimp paste. Or sometimes salt if you don't have shrimp paste. And it's really delicious. We eat that always in high school after class. Sinigang. Sinigang. Tamarind soup. Sinigang. Or sinigang. Or tamarind soup. But actually, it's not just tamarind soup because you can have sinigang based in guava, sinigang based in some other sour things. Masarap ang sinigang dahil sa saktong asim na lasa nito. Sakto. Tamarind soup is delicious because of its pleasantly sour taste. So, you can make sinigang with pork or with shrimp or with fish. But my favorite is pork sinigang. What is yours? Pork also. Before when I was young, I liked shrimp sinigang. But then I realized I like shrimp better in either curry or just in butter sauce because shrimp is better in butter sauce. So, sinigang is best with pork. Dinuguan. 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 Or in English, dinuguan. Ang dinuguan ay ang dugo ng baboy. Dinuguan is pig's blood. Oh, but I like it. I like dinuguan a lot. Especially if dinuguan has more meat. Because some dinuguan doesn't have any meat at all. Just like the pig's blood. It's not pig's blood. It's coagulated pig's blood, isn't it? No, just a bit of coagulation there. But it's like a stew kind of pig's blood. How do you say it? What does it mean? But it's very delicious. And I like eating it with rice because we eat everything with rice, right? Next is sisig. Sisig. Everyone's favorite, sisig. Or, in English, sisig. Ang sisig ay mas masarap pag sisling sisig. Sisig is even more delicious if it's sizzling. I think the original idea of sisig is chopped pig's face. So the meat that you use there in sisig is pig's face. So you just cut up everything, and then add some lime, liver, and then cut up everything, and then make it to a sizzling plate. So everything is as if it's fried, right? And then you add some, spicy things. Now in many restaurants, you can order sisig in, say, pork sisig, right? Or tuna sisig. Oh. Tuna sisig is really good. That's it for today's lesson. Hope you learned something new. And have you ever tried any Filipino food? If you've tried something that we haven't said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them or not. Or if you have tried the ones that we have said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them. And hopefully you did. Because if you don't, then go. Get out. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Filipino, head on to filipinopod101.com. Till the next lesson. Nagbabago. Ano ka? Hanggang sa muli. Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica.
And I'm Ice.
And for today, we will learn about the 10 reasons to learn Filipino.
Filipino!
Ano ba yun? Ako muna, ikaw. Ikaw muna.
So why should you learn Filipino?
Why?
Because...
Number 1 reason is because ito ay isang magandang wika. It's a beautiful language. Ito ay isang magandang wika. Or, in English, it's a beautiful language. Is it?
Is it?
Formal Filipino is very beautiful language. It's a very romantic language. Right? If you read, say, novels written in Filipino.
Like the old ones?
Yes.
Like Florante at Laura.
Yeah, Florante at Laura, which is, what's Florante? It's like our own version of Romeo and Juliet, right?
Yeah. But like with monsters?
Yeah. It's a bit fantasy.
Yeah.
Like
maybe it's
fantastic.
our own version of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's our Game of Thrones. Laro ng trono. Next reason is
para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. To chat with Filipino friends. Para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Filipino. Which is to chat with Filipino friends. If you want to really be close to your Filipino friends, it's really better if you know how to speak the language. And yeah, we all could understand English, but
yeah,
it's more fun in Filipino.
There are jokes that you can only say in Filipino, that they're only funny in Filipino, right?
For example, si Dan ay nag-aaral ng Filipino para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. Dan is studying Filipino to chat with Filipino friends.
Good for you, Dan.
Mahusay, Dan.
Good, Dan. Next reason is para makapagsalin. To do translations. Para makapagsalin. Or to do translations. Nagsisikap ako mag-aral ng Filipino para makapagsalin. I am doing my best to study Filipino to be able to do translations. Do you need to do translations in Filipino?
I guess it's still better to translate if like there are some things that not all Filipinos would know if it's in English. So
Yeah.
I think there is still some jobs that involve like translating to Filipino. Or actually maybe it's the other way around. Like you translate the Filipino works into English.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, oh, you're doing that. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Yeah, like, there are a lot of Filipino films, and, like, I guess they would not be, like, in pure Filipino, but, like, you know, Tagalog English. Because that's usually how people talk in real life.
Yeah.
It's a great reason to learn
Especially,
Filipino.
I think, now that our indie movie industry is booming.
Exactly.
So there's those kinds of movies that deal with concepts that are kind of hard to translate in English. So it's best if you, like, have those subtitles so you can be guided, right?
It's best if you don't need the subtitles.
Yeah, actually. So you already understand everything.
Yeah. For example, 3 taong tuloy-tuloy nag-aral ng Filipino si Mary bago siya nakanood ng pelikulang walang subtitle. Mary studied Filipino for 3 straight years before she was able to watch movies without subtitles. Wow. 3 years? Do you think they could do 3 years? It's easier to understand movies because you see the reaction, like, you know, non-verbal communication is still very important.
So you put it into context, right?
Yeah.
The words being said. So actually, that's easier if you watch it in movies than just like reading books. Next reason is para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines. Para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines.
Because
it's more fun in the Philippines. It's also more traffic. It's also hotter.
Depends on where you're coming from.
So, for example, si Yutaro, that's in Filipino, right? Yutaro. You don't say Yutaro. Si Yutaro ay maninirahan sa Pilipinas kaya siya nag-aaral ng Filipino. Yutaro will live in the Philippines. That's why he's studying Filipino. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. For example, hindi ko inakalang malalim pala ang ibig sabihin ng kantang ito hanggang sa naintindihan ko ang lyrics. I didn't know that the meaning of this song was deep until I understood the song lyrics. This very, very interesting reason. What we call like OPM, or original Filipino music, is a very big industry. And we like singing a lot. So we always have lots of deep, romantic songs, right? Really deep love songs that you would only appreciate it if you know the lyrics.
Just not just love songs, but
Yeah.
well,
Even like
maybe
jingle.
90%.
Yeah. Or maybe 90% is romantic songs. I don't know why. People are just like, they were hurt, those people. Who hurt them?
I don't know.
Okay, next.
Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. It will make them comfortable if they are speaking in their own language, and like that's the time that you could know more about a person if they're in their most comfortable state, I guess. So
Yeah, and
like,
they can only share like things about their lives, right, if they're speaking in their own language. Because sometimes, for instance, you don't really speak English a lot, and then you have to tell someone about your life. Then you'd be like, no, English is very hard. I'm just not going to say anything to you anymore, right?
and a lot of the words doesn't really translate to English, so it's not as fun telling it if you have to like explain what this word means. Especially like names you call your family, like ate, kuya,
Ate or big sister, right?
This because like you would never call your big sister like, oh, my big sister.
Yeah. Even for me, when I tell my foreign friends about my mom, I don't like. It's kind of weird because I just call her mama. She's not a mom. She's a mama. So it's like weird.
Mama's son. For example, palakaibigan ang mga Pilipino, kaya gusto kong matuto ng Filipino para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. Filipinos are friendly, so I want to learn Filipino to make new friends. There are two kinds of Filipinos. One is the person and one is the language. And if you translate if you translate both to Filipino, they actually become two. Filipino is the person and Filipino with
Is
F
the language.
is the language.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that because they're both Filipinos in English, but they become Filipino
and
and
Filipino.
Filipino in
Yeah.
Filipino.
In the same way that Philippines, it's not with an F, right? It's a PH. But if you make it into Filipino, you would say Pilipinas, which is with a P. That's why people living in the Philippines are called Filipino at Pilipina, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Do not spell Filipino with a PH.
Yes.
It's F.
Yeah.
Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Balak palawakin ng boss ang kumpanya sa Pilipinas, kaya mag-aaral ako ng Filipino para makapagnegosyo. My boss plans to expand the company in the Philippines. That's why I will study Filipino in order to do business. I guess this is one major reason for people to learn languages is for business. It's the same thing like we've been saying. If you don't get the inside jokes, then you also don't get the inside deals.
Like making friends is one thing. Doing business is another. Because doing business actually involves money. So for you not to lose any money in this business, then
you better do your research.
Yeah. And study your language. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa Universidad ng Pilipinas, nagsisikap si Jane mag-aral ng Filipino. In order to enter the University of the Philippines, Jane is studying Filipino very hard. This is very important, but I think it's more important in socializing, right? And in feeling embedded in where you are. But it's not really important, I think, in attending classes in the university because in where we went to, in the University of the Philippines, the classes are in language. The classes, obviously, they're in language. The classes are in English, right?
Yeah.
And so you can go to, well, of course, your classmates and your teachers will speak Filipino. But everything is in English. Your textbook, your reading materials.
I guess there are some subjects which are in Filipino.
Yeah, in Filipino, of course, like Humanidades.
Yeah. But like, sometimes your teacher would still accommodate you and speak English most of the time if need be. But yeah, it's still important to learn Filipino if you want to like not be an outcast.
Yeah, so if you want, because that's very important in university life, right? For you to enjoy university life. So now that I'm in University of Tokyo, I'm so happy because I don't speak Japanese so much and I don't have friends. Okay, next.
Okay, next. Para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan. To have a Filipino lover. You definitely want to learn Filipino if you want to have a Filipino lover, or in Filipino, para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan. For example, nagsisikap si Rudy mag-aral ng Filipino para magkaroon siya ng Pilipinong kasintahan.
Go, Rudy.
Go. I support you. Rudy is trying hard to learn Filipino so that he could have a Filipino lover. Yeah, I guess.
Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy.
Oh my God.
It's going to help you actually because they would think you are cute, right?
Yeah.
That they would think you're trying. It's not so much that you really need to be fluent in the Filipino, but the idea is that you are trying and that speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, definitely.
And the most important thing is when you start fighting, they will definitely turn back to their language, right? Because they're really mad. So if you're really mad, then you will start speaking your own language. So for you to understand what they're babbling about, better learn the language. That's enough reason.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for tuning with us today. Thank you for watching this lesson in Filipino. Oh my God.
Filipino top words. What is your reason for studying Filipino?
Yeah, please tell us in the comments. And if there are things here that you want to be clarified, I don't know.
Yeah, don't hesitate to put them down below. And like and subscribe to our channel.
If you need tips to have a Filipino lover,
Write them down.
right? Yeah.
Ice will help you.
No. And if
Visit
you,
filipinopod101.com for more Filipino lessons.
yeah.
Thank
For
you.
more Erica, more
Ice.
Ice.
Hanggang sa muli.
Hanggang sa muli.
Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica and for today we will learn about the 10 compliments you always want to hear. Ang guwapo mo. You're handsome. Two possible circumstances. First, if the person is really, really handsome. Second, if you want something from that person. So, for example, you want something done for you. You go to this person and say, "Oh, ang gwapo mo. Pwede bang pakitulungan ako?" In English, "You're handsome. Can you help me with this?" Ang galing mo. Or, "You're good." But this is very nice to hear, right? If your boss tells you, "Oh, you're good at what you do. Keep doing it." Then you say, "Oh, thank you. Can you raise my salary?" Right? So it's not about you being kind, but it's more about you were able to do something. Like you excelled at something. So in sports, for instance, or as I've said, in your job, you were able to do something very nice, then this is a proper compliment. So also if your friend helped you, and this friend actually did a very good job, for instance, then you would also say, "Ang galing mo," or "You're good." Mahusay kang kaibigan. You are an awesome friend. I don't really say this to my friends. I mean, we have more of like a love-hate kind of relationship. So, I mean, it's good if you actually say this more to people that you are not so close to. Yeah, because once you get close to a person, then you can actually insult this person.
Yeah.
And that's more like the kind of friendship that you will get, like more of like love-hate kind of, right? But then, of course, you want to compliment because compliments actually make you feel nice. And when you feel nice, you do things much nicer. So, this is something that you can tell your friend. You are an awesome friend. Mahusay kang kaibigan. Mas maganda palalo ang iyong kalooban kaysa sa iyong panlabas na anyo. Your inside is even more beautiful than your outside. I think if I'm your friend, I won't even like this because I want my outside to be more beautiful than my inside. Because I'm vain like that. I don't care about what you think of me inside. As long as you think I'm beautiful. I think more people are going to like that one than this. I mean, if you tell this to someone, what would that person say? And this person would probably say, "What do you think of me? I'm not beautiful on the outside." Right? It's not so nice, but you can try. Let's see how far you will go. But it's actually nice to compliment people's inside. Kahanga-hanga ang iyong resume. Your resume is impressive. And this is very helpful when you're being interviewed. And if you hear this phrase, then that means you have a good chance of getting the job. Because that means your resume is actually very impressive for them. But sometimes, you know how HR people are, right? They just tell you, "Oh, your resume is very impressive, but I'm sorry, we found someone with a more impressive resume than you." So if someone tells you, "Oh, your resume is very impressive," then it also tells you that, okay, you're on the right track with whatever you want to be, right? So I think that's very helpful. Magaling or great job. Saya no, great job. So this is a common phrase, common compliment that you will hear. So you can use it in many different circumstances, like you accomplished something. So if you also troubleshoot something, you're able to do it, then your boss will say, "Oh, that's good job," or "great job," "better job," "best job."
Greatest job.
Bestest job. Bagay sa'yo ang jacket na yan. That jacket looks nice on you. After you compliment them on the inside, you also compliment them on the outside, right? But your compliment only goes to the jacket, not per person. You can change jacket into whatever things. Bagay is, it fits you, right? So when you say bagay, other than it meaning a thing, right? Bagay also means it suits you. So you can say, that dress suits you. So bagay sa'yo ang bestida na yan. Or that hat suits you for whatever reason you're wearing a hat, right? So, or those glasses suit you. So that's actually a very useful compliment to learn. Maganda ang taste mo. You have good taste. So this is a very nice compliment if someone tells you, oh, you have very good taste in, say, furniture, right?
Furniture.
Or in clothes, or on, house decor, right? That's a very nice, because that means, we use the same word actually, taste. But usually we just say, maganda ang taste mo. Or okay ang taste mo, right? Okay ang taste mo. Which all means you have good taste. Maganda ang iyong ngiti. Your smile is beautiful. I think you only say this to your prospective partners. You don't say this to your friends, right? Because if you say this to your friends, they'll be like, what is wrong with you? Right? So, maganda means beautiful. So, you can replace ngiti with many other things. So, you can say, bag. Maganda ang iyong bag. Or, your bag is beautiful. Or, maganda ang iyong buhok. Or, your hair is nice. Right? Maganda ang iyong damit. Or, your clothes are nice. So, you can change ngiti to something more appropriate for the occasion. But if you're courting someone, maganda ang iyong ngiti can actually help. But then, whoever you're courting is going to be like, what? I think it would be much better if you say, maganda ang ngipin mo. You have good teeth. Ang ganda mo. You look gorgeous. Or you look beautiful. Or you look pretty, depending on the level of prettiness, right? Ang ganda mo, which means you look gorgeous or you look beautiful. Or you can also say, ang cute mo, right? Which means you look cute. And we say this like for small people. Ah, you're so cute, right? I have two close friends who are very, very petite. And they're really, really cute. They're like my kids. They're so cute. So, if you want to say that she or he is very, very beautiful, then you can just repeat words. So, ang ganda-ganda mo, ang galing-galing mo, right?
So that means
And then you can change your tone to make it sarcastic. So, if you think that this person is actually not really good at this job, but you want to be sarcastic and say, ang galing-galing mo. And we like being sarcastic in Filipino, so you will hear that a lot. And that's it for today's lesson, and hope you learned something new. If you have heard any of these, comment them down below. And what do you think is the most useful among these things? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, visit filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli.
Hi, I'm Ice. Welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today's lesson is about top 10 sad words. So, let's go. Nababalisa. Nababalisa. Upset. Our first word is nababalisa. This means upset. Jerry's upset. So, in Filipino, it will be nababalisa si Jerry. Nababalisa si Jerry. I guess because Tom is always after him. Saktan. Saktan. To hurt. Our next word is saktan, meaning to hurt. I don't know who is Cory and who is Benny, but apparently sinaktan ni Cory si Benny. Sinaktan ni Cory si Benny. Cory hurt Benny. Benny got hurt by Cory. I guess they're not in good relations right now. Nalulumbay. nalulumbay, lonely. Nalulumbay. This means lonely. Actually, this is quite like an old word. Like, it's kind of poetic even to say nalulumbay. It's just, it makes it look, it feels very dark. So if you have a friend, Carmen, who's lonely, then maybe you could use this sentence. Nalulumbay si Carmen ngayon, kaya pupuntahan ko siya. Nalulumbay si Carmen ngayon, kaya pupuntahan ko siya. Carmen is lonely now, so I will go to her. You're such a good friend. Carmen is very fortunate to have you. I feel like it's a very good thing to do for a friend who's lonely. Malungkot. Malungkot. Sad. Our next word is malungkot, meaning sad. Malungkot ako kapag wala ka. Malungkot ako kapag wala ka. I'm sad when you're not around. It's kind of sad and happy to hear that from someone. Miserable. 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 Our next one is miserable, meaning miserable. So it's actually spelled the same way as miserable, but again, we say it as how it is spelled out, miserable. So, for example, you had a report and then it didn't go well, so you might want to say this. Magulo ang report namin kanina, kaya miserable ang pakiramdam ko. Magulo ang report namin kanina, kaya miserable ang pakiramdam ko. Our report a while ago was messy. That's why I feel miserable right now. Guess you just have to let time heal you and move on. Because it's just a report. Pag-iyak. Pag-iyak. To cry. Our next word is iyak or pag-iyak, meaning to cry. Ang pag-iyak ay mahalaga paminsan-minsan para mailabas ang sama ng loob. Ang pag-iyak ay mahalaga paminsan-minsan para mailabas ang sama ng loob. Crying is sometimes necessary in order to release our feelings. I agree with this. Yeah, don't bottle it up inside. Well, actually, yeah, because it might come out as something worse. So, let it out as tears. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Discouraged. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Discouraged. Pinanghinaan ako ng loob nang mabalitaan ko ang nangyari sa guro natin. Pinanghinaan ako ng loob nang mabalitaan ko ang nangyari sa guro natin. I was discouraged upon hearing what happened to our teacher. I guess something bad happened to him or her. So, that sucks. Sorry. Sorry, teacher. Nabigo. Nabigo. Disappointed. Our next word is nabigo, meaning disappointed. Okay, so for example, you watched Beauty and the Beast and this wasn't really what you expected. So you might use this sentence. Nabigo ako sa palabas na Beauty and the Beast. Nabigo ako sa palabas na Beauty and the Beast. I was disappointed by the movie Beauty and the Beast. I wouldn't disagree, to be honest. Hindi masaya. Hindi masaya. Unhappy. Next sad word is hindi masaya, meaning unhappy. It literally means unhappy, like not happy. For example, si Claire ay hindi masaya sa pagkatalo sa volleyball match. Si Claire ay hindi masaya sa pagkatalo sa volleyball match. Claire is unhappy about their loss at the volleyball match. I guess if you lose any kind of sports, you're not gonna be happy. Well, although if you think that you have given it your all, then you'd still be like at least proud if you're not happy that you've done it or something. But there's always a next time. Just train harder, I guess. Clear? Tinanggihan. Tinanggihan. Rejected. Our next word is tinanggihan, meaning rejected. I guess, yeah, that's a very sad thing to be rejected. Like this example. Tinanggihan si Troy sa kanyang pag-a-apply ng visa. Tinanggihan si Troy sa kanyang pag-a-apply ng visa. Troy's application for a visa was rejected. This is definitely a sad time for Troy. Well, it's actually very sad if you get to this situation, because like visas have so many requirements, and like if you still didn't get it, it's just like, oh my god, what was I supposed to do? Anyway, I'm so sorry to finish this on a very sad note, but it is top 10 sad words. So, well, if you have any more sad words you want to know in Filipino, please feel free to comment it in the comment section. Like, we will not abuse and exploit the comment section, so please feel free to go ahead and use it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked this lesson, and if you did, please click that like button. If you like the hat. We make a lot of these Filipino learning videos, so please subscribe and stay tuned for more Filipino toppers or other lessons. We also have other lessons teaching Filipino culture, the Filipino language, and some exercises if you want. And if you want more tools to further your Filipino learning, just head on to filipinopod101.com, and we have like tools for memorizing vocabulary and other audio lessons, you could download and listen to on the go. So please check that out, and I hope to see you soon. Hanggang sa muli. Hi everyone, this is Ice, and welcome to another lesson on Filipino top words. And today we'll be discussing about must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Wala na akong may dadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. I couldn't agree with you more. Our first expression is, wala na akong may dadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. Wala na akong maidadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. This means, I couldn't agree with you more. So, literally, this actually means, I can't add anything more to what you said. So, basically like, I agree with you with whatever you said. That's it. Like, yes. Well, hindi ako sigurado. Well, I'm not sure. Well, hindi ako sigurado. Well, hindi ako sigurado. This means, well, I'm not sure. Well, hindi ako sigurado. I'm not sure. Siyempre. Of course. Siyempre. Siyempre. Of course. It's like, do you want to get a bonus? Siyempre. Do you want to get 10 more days of vacation? Siyempre. Do you want to get free lunch every day? Siyempre. Do you want to see me next time again? Sa palagay ko. I guess so. Sa palagay ko. Sa palagay ko. This means, I guess so. So, yeah, I guess. This means you're not really agreeing with them, but it's somewhat like what you are thinking. Not totally, but it's more on the, okay, yeah, I see what you're going with this. I guess so. Sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. I was just going to say that. Okay, our next expression is, sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. Sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. This means,
I was just going to say that. Yeah, so this is on the I agree with you with whatever you said because that's actually what I'm also thinking. So you don't even have to say anything. The person just said it for you. So good for you. You guys should be together. Oo, tama ka. Yes, you're right. Oo, tama ka. Oo, tama ka. This means, yes, you're right. This one, it's actually kind of like you're opening towards disagreement. You think that this is something you use to agree to someone. Well, it is if you don't include the word but. It's like, yes, you're right, but it usually goes like that, right? So, oo, tama ka, pero mali ka. You're wrong. Mali ka. Mali ka. You're wrong. This expression, you don't really just use it on your own. Just say, mali ka. It sounds very childish. You just say you're wrong. So you have to follow it with why you think that person is wrong, or else you'd act like some kid with a tantrum or some very, very close-minded person. Sa tingin ko, hindi. I don't think so. Sa tingin ko, hindi. Sa tingin ko, hindi. I don't think so. Yeah, this is a much softer way to disagree. Sa tingin ko, hindi. It's it's not a fact that you're wrong, but in my opinion, you are wrong. And reasoning. Don't forget to reason, or else you won't succeed in your disagreements. Siguro. Maybe. Filipinos actually like using this one. Siguro. Siguro. This means maybe. So yeah, if you don't want to be I don't really agree with you, but I don't really want to disagree with you, you could just be in the middle and say maybe, siguro. Well, it's actually, you could also use this to open up another argument. Siguro, I'd like to do this one more than what you just said. Or siguro, this is a better idea. Maybe this is a better idea. Totoo yan. That's true. Here's another expression you could use to agree to someone, which is totoo yan. Totoo yan. It means that's true. If it's true, then you agree that what they're saying is correct, and you could say totoo yan. And that's it for today's Filipino Top Words lesson. So guys, do you agree or do you disagree? Balut is delicious. Put it down in the comment section so that we'd have a nice balut conversation. Okay guys, I hope you liked this video and learn more Filipino. I hope to see you next time again. Hanggang sa muli. Salamat.
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at FilipinoPod101.com.
Genki. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today, we will learn the 10 phrases you never want to hear. So let's begin. Nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? Have you gained weight recently? The first phrase you won't ever want to hear is nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? In English, have you gained weight recently? I don't know. I also don't like hearing it, but I don't mind it. But I don't like hearing it. This is nicely put, actually. So for Filipinos, they would ask you directly. They would not ask you. They would comment on you. Oh, you look fatter, right? Or you look bigger. So in Filipino, you got a bit bigger or you got fatter. You became bigger. In Filipino is tumaba ka. Usually like that, like aunts, they see you, for example, you've been away for quite some time, you come back and then your aunts will be like, oh, tumaba ka. Right? Especially in the Philippines, you get lots of food every time you go to a restaurant. And there's another thing. Usually, you have your rice, right? And then you have your meat. And then you eat your rice with your meat, and then you realize, oh, I still have some more meat left. Then you'll get another serving of rice, and then you eat your rice, and then you eat your meat, and then you realize, I don't have any more meat, but I still have rice. And then, okay, I'll get another serving of meat. And then it's like, and it happens, you know. Mayroon kang puting buhok. You have gray hair. So the next phrase that you won't ever want to hear is mayroon kang puting buhok. Or in English, you have gray hair or white. When someone tells me I have gray hair, I immediately try to have it pulled. For me, for instance, I'm always like concerned. I just want my hair to be always like this, really shiny black. And then, so we take care of it, right? Like you cover your hair also when because too much sun can make your hair, what can damage your hair, like make it a bit lighter, almost brown. But I want my hair always to be black, so I'm kind of really very like careful with it. Sinabi ko na sa'yo. I told you so. Sinabi ko na sa'yo. Or, I told you so. Who wants to hear this? No one, right? In any other language, no one will hear this, I think. Right? Because it just like drives your mistake into your face. Like, you did this. I told you so. You should have done this. And if you're Filipino, your immediate response would be, like, obvious ba? Or isn't it obvious? And just like, leave.
Like, ano nga yun?
Because Filipinos can be very sarcastic also. So they will just be like, yeah, it happened. So, nothing can be done. So, what's the point of saying, I told you so? Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. You're fired. Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. Or, you're fired. So, if you're at work, do your job properly because they're paying you. Then might as well do it, right? Hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako. It is not you. It is me. The next phrase that you don't want to hear, especially if you're splitting up, is hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako, basya, ako. Charot. Which in English is, it's not you. It is me. Okay. It's you then. If you insist, go ahead. Salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. The next phrase that no one ever wants to hear is actually not a phrase. It's actually two sentences. But still, you don't want to hear or you don't want to read, right? Is, salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Or, thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled.
Next.
But this is a nice thing actually to receive, especially if you're applying, right, for jobs, because you're not left just waiting. So at least you know, okay, this is not for me. I'm going to move on, look for another boyfriend or another girlfriend. Usually goes. Dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. We should see other people. The next phrase you hopefully won't hear is, dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. Or, we should see other people. I don't know why it's so sad. It's all about rejection. So, hopefully you don't get to experience this. Kailangan natin mag-usap. We need to talk. So, the next phrase that you don't ever want to hear is, kailangan natin mag-usap. Or, we need to talk. I think in any circumstance, this is not a nice phrase to hear, right? Whether it be your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your boss, then this is never a nice phrase to hear. So what do you do when someone tells you, we need to talk?
Mag-rosaryo ko.
Well, because we are Filipinos and we're religious, then we start praying at the rosary. Ang pangit mo. You're ugly. Next phrase that you definitely don't want to hear directed to you is, ang pangit mo. Or, you're ugly. I mean, who would say this? Is there anyone who will say this? Will anyone say this?
Super mean.
Are you a kid to say this?
Yeah.
I think only kids say this, right? And even kids nowadays are kind of a bit like politically correct. They don't really just say you're ugly. You are ugly. So if someone tells this to you, then just unfriend this person. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Sorry, I forgot. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Which in English is, sorry, I forgot. This is very useful actually, but if it's directed to you, and for instance, the thing that was forgotten is very important, then you don't want to hear this. Say, your boyfriend to buy bread on his way home, right? And he forgot, so you don't have breakfast. So, can you eat, sorry, I forgot?
So you just break his fist.
So that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't try using those phrases because otherwise you will also hear more phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't ever want to hear. So are there any other phrase that has been said to you that you realize you don't like? If there are, please don't forget to comment them down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want more lessons in Filipino, go to filipinopod101.com and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you won't have any problems with your partners. And always stay in love because the problem is you, not me. Hi, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today we are going to learn 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Salamat pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Salamat pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. If you start learning now, you'll be one of those few foreigners who can amaze Filipinos. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. So, I don't know how easy actually Filipino is for foreign people. I don't know if in 1 year you'll be able to speak it. Probably like the basics of it, right? Because Filipino, you don't really need to learn new alphabet. And also, some of the words are in Spanish. So if you kind of know Spanish, then you would most probably understand some of the words. But for you to be able to speak 1 year, I think, is fine. But for you to be able to actually understand all the nuances in the language, then 1 year is probably a bit too short. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. That's actually a good target, right? But of course, there are still so many things that you won't be probably like inside jokes, right? Like, or especially since Filipino language is, like any other language, is continuously evolving, right? Because we have lots of slang now, right? Like slang that you get from American slang, and then also gay lingo, right? So all of those words, and then usually when you learn Filipino, you won't get to hear those slang or like street words. And most people actually use a bit of like casual. Even in, they only use really formal Filipino in say formal situations, formal settings. So this is a good target, but good luck. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. That's actually very good. I mean, for me, for us, like English, we take so many years and still there's some things that you cannot understand. So for instance, we learn English, like standard English, right? And then you talk to, say, an American or to a British person. And then there are so many words that you cannot understand. But you cannot understand them because these are like, but it's like the usage of the words is different from how you learned it from the dictionary. Sometimes when you speak to them, you sound so formal. 10 years is very good. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. We are releasing so many indie movies recently. Those are really good movies, so please watch Filipino movies. And if you can see them without subtitles, very good. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Oh, that's very impressive. I don't have memories. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Yeah, which actually it is, right? I think it's easier compared to, say, Japanese or Chinese. Because as I've said, first, Filipino, you don't need to learn new alphabet, which immediately makes it easy, right? Because learning a new alphabet is very hard, right? I mean, if you say, for example, walk in the streets and then you can read the signs, that's already something. Because, say, you go to Japan, then you see all the signs, and you cannot read kanji, or hiragana, or katakana, right? Then you cannot, it's like as if you're lost. But at least with Filipino, then you can immediately read the signs. And then the next thing is, you learn the words. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Yeah, so when someone tells you this, then they're amazed. Yeah, so that's why they're just like, oh, great. So for example, someone tells you this very long explanation about something. Then, as a Filipino, you can simply say, gets ko. Because that's very Filipino actually, which means, I got it. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. It depends also when you use the slang words, because not in all circumstances can you use slang words, right? Especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time, then you would want to be a bit more formal. Then becoming too formal is not natural. It can be seen as sarcastic even. Actually, I think the key to being thought of as fluent is like getting this balance of being like casual, natural, and also a bit like more formal, right? I think so. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino, which is very good. If you read actual like old Filipino novels, it's very, what do you call this, like flowery. It's like it really evokes emotions when you read Filipino novels. It's actually hard to write in really, say, old poetic Filipino now. So that's it for today's Filipino top words. What sentence would you say to amaze us? But actually, we're easily amazed, so don't hesitate to write anything down below. Or comment, because you might comment negative things, right? Okay. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see other videos like this, then head on to filipinopod101.com. See you in the next lesson.
Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo.
Marami akong alam. Inay, ito na po ang inyong pansit. Na binili ko sa kanto. Inay, wag mo akong iwan, inay.
Hi guys, welcome to Filipino Toppers, and I'm Ice. And today we're gonna learn about some English. and maybe some Filipino. Today's topic is 10 foods that will kill you faster. Or, in other words, the nicest tasting ones. Bacon. Bacon. Okay, so the first word is bacon. Bacon. For example, bacon na may itlog ang karaniwan kong almusal. Which means bacon with eggs is my usual breakfast. I wish. But not exactly, because bacon is actually expensive here in the Philippines. Maybe more like hot dog and egg. Yeah. Energy drink. Energy drinks. Next one is energy drink. It means energy drinks. Okay, you could use it in this sentence. Like, mahilig si Tom uminom ng energy drink. Which means Tom loves drinking energy drinks. I'd like to replace Tom with Ice. Ice likes to drink energy drinks. But Monster is my favorite one. Energy drinks. This is Filipino energy drink. It's called Cobra. And there's lots of flavors. Prinosesong carne, processed meat. Prinosesong carne, which means processed meat. Ang prinosesong karne ay may halong ibang kemikal na maaaring hindi maganda sa kalusugan. Processed meat is mixed with other chemicals which might not be good for your health. Also known as my top 10 favorite foods. Frozen na pagkain, frozen meals. Next one is frozen na pagkain, which means frozen meals. Hindi ako mahilig sa frozen na pagkain. I'm not fond of frozen foods. I like warm foods. So, you could have my ham. Because I don't like frozen foods. Chicharia, potato chips. Chicharia, meaning potato chips. Well, actually, it doesn't just mean potato chips. It might also be corn chips or chips. Like this one. For example, nanonood siya ng palabas habang kumakain ng chicharia. He's watching a show while eating chips. Margarina, margarine. Next one is margarina, which is margarine. Mabango ang pagkaing may margarina. Food with margarine is aromatic. Also tastes nice. But it's bad for you. So don't. Instant noodles. Instant noodles. Next one is instant noodles, which means instant noodles, also known as pancit canton or instant mommy. This is like my favorite thing growing up. Sa Japan nagsimula ang instant noodles. Instant noodles started in Japan. Candy. Candy. Next one is candy, which is candy. But nakakasira sa ngipin ang candy. Candy destroys the teeth. Soft drinks. Soda. Next one is soft drinks. It's actually in English, but it's not just any kind of soft drinks. Soft drinks in Filipino means soda. 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 Mahal ang soft drinks sa hotel. Sodas are expensive at the hotel. Asukal, sugar. The next one is asukal, meaning sugar. Napadami ang nilagay kong asukal, kaya sobrang tamis. I put in too much sugar, that's why it's too sweet. Okay, and that's 10 foods that will kill you faster. If you like this lesson, please click that like button somewhere. And please subscribe. For more tools to learn the Filipino language, head on over to filipinopod101.com. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you next time.
Hello guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today's lesson, we will be talking about 10 ways to remember words. So, knowing how to remember words will actually help us learn Filipino better and faster. So, let's go to the first way. So, the first way is sa pamamagitan ng pag-uulit, through repetition. Mas maaalala mo ang mga salita sa pamamagitan ng pag-uulit. You will remember the words better through repetition. Repeating stuff to yourself is actually very helpful. So even when you're reviewing for exams, that's how many people actually get to remember words. And one tip, if you're going to review or try to remember words or things that you just want to do, better study them before you go to bed. Do you know that? So the next way is manood ng TV series na may subtitle. To watch TV series with subtitles. 3 beses sa isang araw ako nanonood ng TV series na may subtitle para matuto ng Filipino. I watch TV series with subtitles 3 times a day in order to learn Filipino. For instance, because I'm learning Japanese now, so I also watch lots of dramas or anime, of course. And then you have subtitles there, and then you hear words, you begin to associate words with the English words that you see in the subtitle. So sort of like you get the idea of what these words mean. And then of course you have to check them if they are really what you think they are. And then by hearing them again and again, and then again through repetition, you will eventually learn these words much easier. The third way is magsanay sa pamamagitan ng pagsusulat. To practice by writing. Magaling si Lenny sa balarila dahil siya ay laging nagsasanay magsulat sa Filipino. Lenny is good at grammar because she always practices by writing in Filipino. I think this is very important to distinguish, it's very important to distinguish between spoken Filipino and written Filipino. So in our example sentence, Lenny, this girl, is better in grammar because she always practices by writing. Because in written Filipino is actually a lot more formal than spoken Filipino. So if you want to really learn the formal Filipino, then the best way for you to learn it is to practice it by writing. So the next is magbasa ng malakas. To read out loud. Basahin mo ng malakas ang mga salita. In English, read the words out loud. So why would it actually help? Because it's like you're saying it and then you're hearing it at the same time. Yeah, because sometimes if you're just like trying to read something and you just try to remember things, you cannot really, I mean, you can remember, but of course it's different when you start speaking it out loud. So that's why when you attend, say, language classes, there are classes just for reading, right? And for speaking. So you can also build confidence when you speak. So you know how the words are spoken. Next is, gumawa ng mga kwento. To make up stories. It doesn't mean that you should be gossiping or lying and making up stories about people, no. This means, let's hear the example sentence. Gumawa ka ng kwento tungkol sa iyong mga karanasan sa Filipino. Make up stories about your experiences in Filipino. You can pretend that you've been to the Philippines, right? And then just like write things about, what I will do in the Philippines is if I'm going there, or if I already went there, what I would have done. So you can just like invent things that, just to practice. So I remember when I was in university, I was learning Italian. And one of the things that we were always asked to write is just like little paragraphs about what you do in a day, just to practice using different words every day and just like getting used to writing things in that language. It actually helps really a lot. But I forgot my Italian already. So. Next is, lumikha ng ugnayan ng mga salita. To create associations between words. Lumilikha ako ng ugnayan ng mga salita para hindi ko makalimutan. I create associations of words in order not to forget them. So I think this is very useful in Filipino since in Filipino there are many words that sound similar but are actually different. They mean differently. So for instance, you want to say wet in Filipino, then you would say basa. But it also, the same 4 letters you would use to say read, which is basa. So it's just like different way of pronouncing the words. In a way, it makes it difficult, but also you can get like 2 ideas of those 4 letters together, right? So when you see B-A-S-A, you immediately associate it with either getting wet or reading a book, which is kind of like really far, but at least you immediately like get 2 words at once. And I don't really make fun of your language, so it's fine. Because everyone speaks like kind of casual. Unless you're writing, then of course, then you don't need to worry about pronunciation, but you have to worry about your grammar. Next is, magkabisa sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig. To memorize by listening. Magaling ang pandinig ni Kay dahil kaya niyang kabisaduhin ang salita kahit sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig lamang. Kay has good ears because she can memorize words just by listening. So some people can actually really remember words just by listening, but it depends on the language. So for instance, in Filipino, it's actually kind of easy to remember things by hearing. But say you're learning Chinese or Japanese, right? Then just by hearing, you cannot really easily remember the meaning of the words unless you also check the meaning of how it's written. So, but in Filipino, it's kind of easier to really understand the meaning of words just by listening, and especially by understanding the context. Next is, magbasa ng simpleng mga babasahin. To read simple texts. Kapag may pagsasalin, subukan mong basahin ang mga simpleng babasahin sa Filipino kaysa sa Ingles. If there's a translation, try to read simple texts in Filipino rather than in English. It's actually for more practice. So because sometimes when you have textbooks, right, there's always an English version of it and the version of the language that you're studying. So sometimes it helps if you go first, read the word in the target language, and then you read the English, because you can sort of first guess what it means and then check if you actually got the meaning. And that's actually very helpful. And I say actually a lot. Next is, makinig ng kanta na may lyrics. To listen to songs with lyrics. Maraming magagandang kantang Filipino na may lyrics na mapapakinggan sa YouTube. There are a lot of nice songs with lyrics in Filipino that you can listen to on YouTube. Why there are so many songs with lyrics in Filipino? Because Filipinos like to do karaoke. Or in Filipino, videoke. Actually, that's how we say it, videoke. Videoke. Because we like doing this karaoke a lot. So there's so many places where you can go to do karaoke, right? And then even on days that you don't want to do karaoke, people are still doing karaoke. Your neighbors are still singing. Everyone is singing. It's everyone's birthday every day. So there's always going to be someone singing around you. Next is, ulitin bago matulog. To repeat before going to sleep. Ulitin mo bago matulog ang mga salitang natutunan mo. Repeat the words you've learned before going to sleep. This is actually very, very helpful because now I'm learning how to bike. I was gifted a bike for my birthday because I was told that I need to learn a new skill. And then every evening I actually practice it. And then one of my friends said, you should study something or practice something before going to bed. And then after you practice this, don't do anything anymore. So don't look at your phone, don't read anything. If you want this information to be retained in your mind and in your body, if it's like an activity. So actually, learning how to bike every evening helped me a lot. So now I can bike. So that's it for today's lesson, and hope you learned something new. So what are your ways of learning words? If there is anything that we didn't say but you actually use and is very helpful for you, don't forget to comment them down below and like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, visit filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli! See you in the next lesson!
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at FilipinoPod101.com.
Hi, my name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is how to respond to how are you. Let's go! Kamusta? Kamusta? How are you? So the first word is, how are you? In Filipino, kamusta? So this is very useful when you pass by someone, you want to know how they are, right? Or you just want to ask someone how they are. At ikaw? At ikaw. And you? At ikaw? Or in English, and you? How do you usually respond when people ask you, how are you? And you? So if you are trying to avoid answering this question, you can ask, at ikaw? Or, and you? Probably you're like feeling too tired from work or something, right? Or you can, like casually, more people would say, ikaw? Or just simply, ikaw? It all means, and you. So it's a kind of like a nice gesture if someone asks you, how are you? And then you want to ask the same question because you just want to be nice. Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? How have you been recently? So if you want to be more specific about asking them how they are in a certain period of time, you can ask, kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Or, how have you been recently? So probably you would have friends that would have gone to vacation or would have found a new job or would have graduated from university, which is all me. And then you can ask them, how have you been recently? Mabuti ako. Mabuti ako. I'm fine. So how do you answer all these how are you questions and variations of how are you? First, you can say, if you are really feeling this, mabuti ako, or I'm fine. Of course, you can say it if you're not fine, right? I mean, if you just want to because sometimes when you say, I'm not so okay, I'm feeling a bit down, then they would ask you more things. But sometimes if you don't want to answer any of these things, but you are not fine, you can still say, I'm fine. But in Filipino, you ask people how are you because you want to know how they are. Or we don't really say this as a greeting. Okay naman ako. Okay naman ako. I'm not bad. Aside from I'm fine, how can you respond to how are you? You can say, okay naman ako, or I'm not bad. So if you are feeling like saying that you are not so fine, but you are also not fine, you can say, well, I'm not bad. It's okay. Everything's cool. But I'm crying inside. I'm dead inside. Okay. Inaantok ako. Inaantok ako. I'm sleepy. If you're feeling sleepy, you can say, inaantok ako, or I'm sleepy. After lunch, usually that's the time when you feel this, you're really sleepy. Even though you have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy, or sometimes you don't have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy. So, you can say it. It's valid, it's okay. Just don't say it to your boss. I don't think, if your boss asks you, how are you? I'm sleepy. Oh, that's not really good. Well, probably you should go home, not come back anymore. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. That's how it will go, right? Masama ang pakiramdam ko. Masama ang pakiramdam ko. I'm feeling bad. Or if you are not feeling so well, you can say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Or, I'm feeling bad. So, you can say this if you have a bit of cold, for instance, or your stomach is upset, or what else? Or you have a broken heart, like those kinds of things. So, if you want to say that you're feeling bad, you say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Okay ako. Okay ako. I'm okay. But what if you're just fine? What if you're just okay, but you don't want to say I'm fine? Or mabuti naman ako, or ayos naman ako. You can also say casually, okay ako. Which is very casual. Very simple, okay ako. Okay na okay ako. Okay na okay ako. I'm great. If you want to say that you are really doing great, then you can say, okay na okay ako. You would have to note that in Filipino, when you repeat words, it, what's it called? It's like, it's a superlative version of the adjective, kind of. But it's not. But it's kind of like amps up the impact of the adjective. So it's equivalent to very. So you would say, okay na okay ako, meaning I'm super duper okay, right? Or if you're really, for instance, sleepy, you would say, antok na antok ako, instead of just saying antok ako, right? Salamat sa pagtatanong. Salamat sa pagtatanong. Thank you for asking. And for instance, you were feeling bad, and then this person that asked you, how are you, made you feel happy, then you can say, thank you for asking, or salamat sa pagtatanong. Because of course, you felt happy that someone asked you, especially if you're feeling bad. So that's it for the end of this lesson. Hope you learned something new. And what do you usually say to your friends, your colleagues, people who ask you how you are? And how do they respond to you? Leave them in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Salamat! Hanggang sa muli!
Hi everyone, I'm Ice and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today's lesson is going to be about 20 travel phrases you should know. So, tara na! Biyahe tayo! Pwede ba akong makakuha ng mapa? Could I get a map? Pwede ba akong makakuha ng mapa? Pwede ba akong makakuha ng mapa? Could I get a map? If you don't wanna use up your roaming on your Google Maps, there's always maps in the tourist information guide. Or actually, in bookstores, you could also buy maps if you need them. Nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Do you speak English? Here's another phrase you might want to learn. Nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Nagsasalita ka ba ng Ingles? Do you speak English? Well, perhaps the answer to this is maybe perhaps yes. I don't know. But let's not assume. Let's not assume that everyone in the Philippines speak English, but most of us do. May bus bang galing airport papuntang syudad? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? May bus bang galing airport papuntang syudad? May bus bang galing airport papuntang syudad? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Well, if you are flying from Manila, the airport is actually in the middle of the city, so you don't really need a bus. I wouldn't really know because my family is very nice enough to always get me from the airport if I need to be coming from the airport in the Philippines. Thank you, family! Libre ba ang Wi-Fi? Is the Wi-Fi free? In this day and age, I think this one is very important. Libre ba ang Wi-Fi? Libre ba ang Wi-Fi? This means, is the Wi-Fi free? Yeah, so like if you have your iPhone, iMac, I love you with you, then you might want to get the Wi-Fi. Meron ba kayong bakanteng kwarto ngayong gabi? Do you have any vacancies tonight? Okay, here's another phrase you might want to know when you're asking at a hotel. Meron ba kayong bakanteng kwarto ngayong gabi? Meron ba kayong bakanteng kwarto ngayong gabi? This means, do you have any vacancies for tonight? So yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't reserve beforehand at the hotel, but in case you didn't, this is a good phrase you might want to remember. Pwede bang lumipat sa ibang kwarto? Could I move to a different room? Pwede bang lumipat sa ibang kwarto? Pwede bang lumipat sa ibang kwarto? Could I move to a different room? You know, you never know. Maybe you have noisy neighbors, or you just feel like there's someone else in the room. Let's hope not. Then you might want to ask this question. May reservation ako. I have a reservation. May reservation ako. May reservation ako. I have a reservation. Yeah, it's very simple. Easy to remember. May, it sounds like the 5th month of the year. Reservation. Reservation. Ako. Me. May reservation ako. Pwedeng makahingi ng menu? Could we have the menu, please? Okay, so here's another one that I think you will find useful and would use a lot, since food is very cheap in the Philippines and you want to try a lot of restaurants. Pwedeng makahingi ng menu? Pwedeng makahingi ng menu? Could we have the menu, please? There you go. Eat to your heart's content. Try out all the restaurants you want and just don't go to McDonald's every time. Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Could I have the check? Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Could I have the check? So usually there's a gesture in the Philippines for the check, and it's like this. It's like a rectangle. So when you do this to the waiter or waitress, whatever, then that means you want the bill. But you could also remember this word. You could also try and remember this phrase. Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Allergic ako sa mani. I'm allergic to peanuts. Okay, here's one very important travel phrase in case you're someone like this. Allergic ako sa mani. Allergic ako sa mani. I'm allergic to peanuts. Allergic is also the same in Filipino. So you just need to find the Filipino word for the thing that you're allergic to. Like in this case, peanuts is mani. Like maybe chicken. Chicken is manok. Allergic ako sa manok. Shrimp, maybe shrimp. Allergic ako sa hipon. Anyway, if you're allergic to something and you want to find out what it is in Filipino, perhaps maybe you could just put it in the comments and we'll try to help you out. Tubig po. Water, please. Here's another travel phrase you should know. Tubig po. Water, please. So here, po doesn't actually mean please. It's a polite particle. You add it to the sentence to make it sound polite, because you want to be polite when asking for water, since it's like free. You need to be polite. Magkano ito? How much is this? Magkano ito? Magkano ito? This means, how much is this? So yeah, definitely travel also means you want to go shopping. So you might want to remember this phrase. How much is this? Magkano ito? So ito actually is this. So it has to be somewhere near you. Gusto ko ng 10 nito. I'd like 10 of these. Okay, so if you want not just one of something, you could try using this one. Gusto ko ng 10 nito. Gusto ko ng 10 nito. This means I'd like 10 of these. 10 means 10. So if you replace 10 with another number, then you could make any sentence you want. For example, you want, 50. 50 is 50. So gusto ko ng 50 nito. Or if you just want 3, you could say, gusto ko ng 3 nito. I don't know what these are. But if it's 10, maybe it's like some kind of souvenir, Pwede niyo ba akong bigyan ng discount? Could you give me a discount? Hey, another travel phrase you should know is, especially in the Philippines and if you want to have some bargain, pwede niyo ba akong bigyan ng discount? Pwede niyo ba akong bigyan ng discount? Could you give me a discount? So here's a tip when you're trying to bargain for something. You don't just ask this. You should have a price in mind that you would like to offer them back. So it's more of like a negotiation, not like, oh, can you give me a discount? They'll probably ask you, so how much would you like to buy it for? So you have to be prepared for that and not just ask, give me a discount. It's like, you have to name your price as well. Tumatanggap ba kayo ng credit card? Do you take credit card? Here's another phrase that you might want to know when traveling. Tumatanggap ba kayo ng credit card? Tumatanggap ba kayo ng credit card? Do you take credit card? So yeah, like, of course, you just have a limited cash that you exchange. I mean, your currency for the local currency. So you might want to just spend the cash in the places that don't accept credit card. Or else you might really need it somewhere that doesn't accept anything else but cash and you didn't have it. So yeah, you might want to ask this question a lot. Nasaan ang istasyon ng tren? Where's the train station? Nasaan ang istasyon ng tren? Nasaan ang istasyon ng tren? Where's the train station? There's not really much train stations in the Philippines, but there's just like a few of them, maybe 20, 30, and they're only just in Metro Manila. So, but bus stations are also not that common. It's basically, maybe we should like make a whole video discussing transportation in the Philippines, because it's very complicated actually. It's not just like, hey, there's trains and stations. It's more of like, you need to know which buses take which route and how much it costs beforehand, because anyway, you need to be a real veteran to survive Philippine public transportation. Excuse me, magkano po ang pamasahe? Excuse me, what's the fare? Here's another phrase that could be useful when you're in the Philippines. Excuse me, magkano ang pamasahe? Excuse me, magkano ang pamasahe? Excuse me, what's the fare? So, yeah, usually you might want to ask this if you don't know how much the fare is, because, I mean, like, not for the trains, you have to actually pay before going in the train, but like for buses or jeepneys or tricycles, usually there's like a sign, tiny sign how much it costs to go from somewhere to somewhere, but like it's either very far away or you couldn't see it, so you just have to ask the driver how much the fare is. So yeah, we definitely need that whole lesson about Philippine public transportation. Pwede niyo po ba akong kunan ng litrato? Could you take a picture of me, please? Okay, here's another phrase you might want to learn when traveling. Pwede niyo po ba akong kunan ng litrato? Pwede niyo po ba akong kunan ng litrato? Could you take a picture of me, please? I don't know. If you want a group shot, then might as well ask like someone to take it for you. I bet they won't run with your camera if that's what you're thinking, because that's just rude. Yeah, can be useful. So that you could have your Instagram pic later on without the selfie stick. Just kidding. Ito ba ang tamang bus papuntang airport? Is this the right bus for the airport? Ito ba ang tamang bus papuntang airport? Ito ba ang tamang bus papuntang airport? Is this the right bus for the airport? So, yeah, I guess when you're returning back, you might wanna not get lost to get to the airport, but to be honest, I don't really think there's a direct bus to the airport. Although I only have experience in Manila, and I've always been lucky enough to have my family get me there. But I guess you'd like have to take a taxi. Meron ba kayong mairekomenda? Do you have any recommendations? Meron ba kayong mairerekomenda? Meron ba kayong mairerekomenda? This means, do you have any recommendations? Yeah, like if you can't really choose from the menu, then you could ask the person, meron ba kayong mairerekomenda? Usually, they would point to the most expensive thing there, so... But yeah, usually the most expensive thing is also the nicest. Okay, so that's 20 travel phrases you should know. So before going to the Philippines, try remembering these phrases so that you'd get more out of your vacation. And if you like this video, please click that like button. If you like this hat, please also click that like button. Thank you. And if you would like to have more tools, not just video lessons, but also vocabulary guides and flashcards, audio lessons, and other stuff, head on to filipinopod101.com to learn more Filipino. And I'll see you next time. Hanggang sa muli.
Hi, my name is Erica, and welcome. Hi, my name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is 10 must-know math words. Yay! Math. Matematika. Ma-te-ma-tika. Mathematics or math. Math in Filipino is matematika. How do we use math in a sentence? We can say, matematika ang paborito kong subject. Mathematics is my favorite subject. Matematika ang paborito kong subject. Is math your favorite subject? Well, it's not my favorite, but I don't also hate it. No, I like math, I think. Numero. Numero. Number. Numero. In English, number. Let's use numero in a sentence. Maraming tao ang ayaw sa numero. Maraming tao ang ayaw sa numero. A lot of people do not like numbers. A significant number of people do not like numbers. According to studies. But you cannot escape it because numbers are everywhere. If you are on a budget, numbers. If you're thinking of when you're going to get married, numbers. If you're planning a wedding, numbers. If you're looking for a job, numbers. Kalahati. Kalahati. Half. The next word is kalahati. In English, half. Kalahati ka ng edad ko. You are half my age. Kalahati ka ng edad ko. Well, I cannot yet tell this to anyone, except really small kids. Porsyento. Porsyento. Percent. Our next word is porsyento. In English, percent. Ilang porsyento ang income tax sa Pilipinas? Ilang porsyento ang income tax sa Pilipinas? How much is the income tax percentage in the Philippines? Even. 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 The next word is even. In English, even. Madaling hatiin sa dalawa ang mga even number. Madaling hatiin sa dalawa ang mga even number. It is easy to divide even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Anything ending in even numbers can be divided into 2. Odd. 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 The next word is odd. In English, odd. Kapag magbibigay ka raw ng pera sa kasal, dapat odd ang unang numero para hindi ito mahati. Kapag magbibigay ka raw ng pera sa kasal, dapat odd ang unang numero para hindi ito mahahati. They say that if you were to give money at a wedding, it should be an odd number so that it can't be divided. So it means that you should give odd numbered amount of money so that symbolically, right? So symbolically it means that the couple won't be separated, right? Magkalkula. Magkalkula. To calculate. Magkalkula. In English, to calculate. Kaya mo bang magkalkula ng mabilis? Kaya mo bang magkalkula ng mabilis? Can you calculate quickly? Can you? No, she cannot. Sorry. Dagdagan. Dagdagan. To add. Next word is dagdagan or to add. Pakidagdagan ng 5 pang order ng kanin. Pakidagdagan ng 5 pang order ng kanin. Please add 5 more orders of rice. Wow, rice is life. Okay, I don't judge this person, but still like 5 orders of rice. Please eat whatever you want. Bawasan. Bawasan. To subtract. Bawasan or to subtract. Huwag mong bawasan ng tax ang mga nagpa-part-time job lamang. Huwag mong bawasan ng tax ang mga nagpa-part-time job lamang. Don't subtract the tax for those who are just working part-time. Hatiin. Hatiin. To divide. Hatiin or to divide. Hatiin natin ito sa 8. Hatiin natin ito sa 8. Let's divide this into 8. What else do you divide by 8? Just pizza and cake. Or you probably get like 8 cups of rice. Divide this into 2. So that is the end of the lesson and hope you learned something new. Do you like math? Why or why not? So if you have any answer to that question, don't forget to put them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli! So how do we... because couple that eats together, stays together. Hi, Smitly! Hi everyone, my name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is 15 must-know family words. Ta-da! Pamilya. Pamilya. Family. Our first word is pamilya or family. 6 kami sa pamilya. 6 kami sa pamilya. There are 6 people in my family. So in the Philippines, as usual, it's like when you ask people how many they are in their family, some would ask, oh, do we include all the extended members, the members of the extended family? Or just the nuclear, because there are cases when people live with the members of the extended family, right? That makes for a really big family. Tatay, tatay, father, tatay, or father. Hindi nagagalit ang tatay ko. Hindi nagagalit ang tatay ko. In English, my father never gets angry. So my dad, he also doesn't get angry much. It's kind of weird because he's always like this mid-state between angry and not angry. But I remember when we were young, my sister doesn't really want to study well. She doesn't like take notes in school, and she's always in the toilet when there's like an important announcement by the teacher. I don't know why, how she can time that. So usually when she comes out of school, she doesn't know what happened in class, and she doesn't know the assignment. She doesn't know anything. There was one time that he got really mad, so he made giliw. That's my sister's name, giliw. Which means dear in Filipino. It's like a very cute name. He was so mad, he made her kneel on, what do you call this? Mongo beans. Mongo seeds, right? Hello, Gilio. Asawa. Asawa. Husband or spouse. Asawa or husband. Ang aking asawa ay binalak magpari, ngunit buti na lang, hindi natuloy. Ang aking asawa ay binalak magpari, ngunit buti na lang, hindi natuloy. My husband planned on becoming a priest, but I'm thankful he didn't go through with it. Who thought of this? So in Filipino, actually, when you say asawa, it can mean both husband and wife. So actually, the best translation for asawa is spouse, right? So when you want to specify that the asawa that you're referring to is male or the husband, you would say asawang lalaki, right? He could have been a priest saving the world, but yeah, thankfully, he didn't go through with it according to the sentence. Or probably he's now regretting his decision. We don't know. Anak na lalaki. Anak na lalaki. Son. Anak na lalaki. Or son. Si Ted at Tina ay may 4 na anak na lalaki. Si Ted at Tina ay may 4 na anak na lalaki. Ted and Tina have 4 sons. When you want to say son, you would add lalaki, which is male. So, anak na lalaki. Or, if you want to say daughter, then you would say anak na babae. Babae for female. Usually, you just say, oh, my kid. Right? My kid, actually. Ang anak ko, hindi na naman pumasok sa eskwelahan. My kid didn't go again to school. That was my mom's line every time when we talked about Giliw. Because Giliw really doesn't like taking down notes. Kapatid na lalaki. Kapatid na lalaki. Brother. Kapatid na lalaki. Or, in English, brother. Ang kapatid niyang lalaki ay napakatalino. Ang kapatid niyang lalaki ay napakatalino. His brother is extremely smart. Here, kapatid again is a gender-neutral word, which means sibling. So if you want to say brother, you would add lalaki to kapatid. So it would be kapatid na lalaki. Or if you want to say sister, then it would be kapatid na babae. Babae meaning female. In the family, there's always ways of calling brothers, sisters, right? So for an older brother, you would say kuya. For elder sister, you would say ate. Tío, tío, uncle. Tío or uncle. Ang tío ko ay masipag. Ang tío ko ay masipag. My uncle is hardworking. So usually, younger people would call uncles as tito. So they would just call them tito. You can also say tito to anyone like a bit at the same age as your tito. For instance, like you meet someone and then you start talking to this someone, but they're kind of like more of a like mom-dad image. So you would call the dad image as like tito, right? Something like that. Lolo. Lolo. Grandfather. Lolo or grandfather. Magaling mag-Ingles ang aking lolo. Magaling mag-Ingles ang aking lolo. My grandfather has excellent English. Biyenang lalaki. Biyenang lalaki. Father-in-law. Biyenang lalaki. Or father-in-law. Ang aking biyenang lalaki ay nakakatakot. Ang aking biyenang lalaki ay nakakatakot. My father-in-law is scary. Nanay. Nanay. Mother. Nanay. Or mother. Walang katulad ang aking nanay. Walang katulad ang aking nanay. There is no one like my mother. Yeah, because my mom is weird. She's very funny. I don't know. I think she was normal. Now she's a mom. When I'm away, I talk to her on Facebook video, right? Video call. And then so I talk to her. And the first thing that she noticed after so many things that I discussed with her, like, oh, this, like, how graduate school is, blah, blah. And then her immediate reaction is, oh, did you change your sheets? Kapatid na babae. Kapatid na babae. Sister. Kapatid na babae. Or sister. May isa akong nakababatang kapatid na babae. May isa akong nakababatang kapatid na babae. I have one younger sister. So this is the same thing that we discussed earlier with the word kapatid. So it's a gender-neutral noun. And you can add lalaki or babae for male, female respectively to make it into a gendered noun. So for kapatid na babae, to mean sister, you added babae, which is female. Asawa. Asawa. Wife or spouse. asawa or wife or spouse. Ang aking asawa ay dating sumali sa Miss Universe. Ang aking asawa ay dating sumali sa Miss Universe. My wife was in the Miss Universe pageant. Wow, lucky you. And this is again what we were discussing earlier about the word asawa, which literally means spouse. So if you want to put a gender on asawa, you would say asawang babae for wife or asawang lalaki for husband. So because of the context, then you can tell that the speaker is referring to a female spouse, right? Biyenang babae. Biyenang babae. Mother-in-law. Biyenang babae. Or mother-in-law. Ang aking biyenang babae ay napakabait. Ang aking biyenang babae ay napakabait. My mother-in-law is very kind. Oh, very lucky. You have a very scary father-in-law and a very kind mother-in-law. And we forgot to say something about biyenan, because biyenan again is a gender-neutral word. So biyenan just means in-laws, right? When you want to emphasize that you're referring to the mother-in-law, then you would add again the word for female, which is babae. So you would say biyenang babae. And then for males, you would say biyenang lalaki. Lola. Lola. Grandmother. Lola. Or grandmother. Hindi na ako namumukhaan ng aking lola. Hindi na ako namumukhaan ng aking lola. My grandmother can no longer recognize me. Oh, this is pretty sad. Katuwang. Katuwang. Partner. Katuwang or partner. Ang katuwang sa buhay ang iyong kasama sa hirap at ginhawa. Ang katuwang sa buhay ang iyong kasama sa hirap at ginhawa. Your partner in life is your companion through thick and thin. When you're thin and then when you become thick, that's what it means. Tia. Tia. Aunt. Tia or aunt. Mapagbigay ang aking tiya. Mapagbigay ang aking tiya. My aunt is generous or tita, right? Now, being a tita is kind of like a frame of mind, right? You're lazy, you just want nice things, you just want to drink tea, you just want to relax, be experience the not be not be sweaty. If you're a tita, you're in everyone's business. Aside from all those things that I said. So imagine, you always would have titas that ask you, why aren't you still married, right? There are always those titas. They just have so much time, right? Okay, guys, that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned something new. Don't become a tita yet. Who is your favorite member of your family? How many are you and your family? And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli!
Hi everyone, this is Ice. Welcome to another lesson of Filipino Top Words. Today we're gonna discuss 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Food is definitely a big thing in the Philippines, and if you come to the Philippines, you need to try a lot of things. Everyone says it's kind of cheap in the Philippines, so try as much as you want. Let's go! Waiter. Waiter. It's one of those English words that just ends up in Filipino language as well. Waiter. So as a sample sentence, maybe you're not used to having all male waiters all the time. So here's a sentence for you. Ngayon lang nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. This is my first time in a restaurant with all male waiters. Maybe it's just that shift when you were in, it was all just waiters for that shift. Waitress. Waitress. Well, in English, there's waiter, and then, of course, if there's a female server, then you would say waitress. And that's also what we have gotten from English. We just also call them waitress. Waitress means waitress. For example, if go to a restaurant and someone, the waitress serving there, you could use this sentence. Kilala ko ang waitress na iyon. Kilala ko ang waitress na iyon. I know that waitress. Well, maybe you should ask for her autograph. Don't ask for a discount. Come on, guys. She's working. It's pay her and give her a tip, even if you know her. Menu, meaning menu. It's actually spelled the same way, but because in Filipino, we have a tendency to pronounce things the way they are written. So if it's written menu, there's no Y in there. So why would we say it's as a menu? It's a menu. And if there's just a small amount of things you could see from the menu, you could use this sentence. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. They have very few selections on their menu. Well, it's very good for people who can't decide, like me. So sometimes it's not really a bad thing. Actually, having tons of things in menu may actually be oh my god, this is gonna take forever. And maybe it's more efficient if they have so many things in their menu, then they have to prepare that all in the kitchen, so you don't know if it might take you longer to get your food if they have more things on their menu. So be thankful that there's only just a very few selection on your menu. Umorder, to order. In case you're one of those people who get hangry, which means angry when you're getting hungry, then you might want to memorize this sentence. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Let's order because I'm hungry. There's always that one person who always wants to chica, wants to gossip before even looking at the menu. So sometimes you just have to be just let's order because it's gonna take them a while to prepare our food and I'm already hungry. So just look at the menu already and order first before we do any chica or taking pictures or taking selfie. Tubig, meaning water. This is one of my favorite things in a restaurant. Tubig. Because, in Philippines it's hot and it's you just after walking around all day or doing shopping or something, then you just want to sit down and get that very refreshing cold water. Yeah. But not only is it refreshing, it's also good for you. So just in this sentence, magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Let's just have water since it's free and it's good for the health. So, this is true. Water for life. Panghimagas, meaning dessert. Oh no, but you don't want to hear this sentence. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. I'm not fond of desserts. Well, if you are fond of desserts, here's the sentence you might want to use. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Meaning, I'm fond of desserts. So, there you go. Okay, here's another vocabulary you must know for the restaurant, which is chef. It also means chef. We have this culture now where we have celebrity chefs, so we might want to use this sentence. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. The chef of this restaurant is famous. I guess it's also another way of saying the food in this restaurant is gonna be expensive. Masarap. Delicious. Yeah, definitely if you want to say that what you ate was very good, then you should say it's masarap. For example, you just ate somewhere that serves you fried chicken and you really thought it was delicious, then you could say this sample sentence. Masarap ang fried chicken. Masarap ang fried chicken. Fried chicken is delicious. I guess if you just like fried chicken in general, you could also say this. Or if you'd like to recommend the fried chicken in a certain store, then yeah, please go ahead and use this sentence. Kainan, which means restaurant. I guess kainan is just like generally a place where you eat. Sometimes it can be a canteen or a cafeteria. It's also like a restaurant. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. I like to eat at cheap restaurants. Yeah, I like this too actually. Like there is some like eateries in the Philippines which are known for like serving like they're called lutong bahay, which literally means like home cooked. So it's actually just like a house and they have like I guess a big enough area like in the garage or something, and then they just like cook like whatever like 3 sets of main dish, and then people just like go there during lunch, and it's very cheap, but it's still like it has that home cooked vibe, so it's very good. Recibo, meaning receipt. So you go to a restaurant and you want your company to pay for it, so you might want to ask for that receipt. Your boss might say this to you, or like you might have a rule for your company saying, laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Always ask for the receipt after eating at a restaurant. Do your invoices properly? Okay, so that's 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. So, for all you foodies or just, well, if you just want to go and have a nice time at the restaurant in the Philippines, then this might come in handy. So, hope you like that, and tell me if you have other vocabulary you want to learn about food or restaurant in Filipino, and share them in the comment section. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, please click the like button. It likes you too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe for more lessons in Filipino. Go to filipinopod101.com to learn more Filipino using more tools like vocabulary, flashcards, audio lessons, and more. So, see you again next time. Hanggang sa muli.
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at filipinopod101.com.
Hi everyone, this is Ice. Welcome to another lesson of Filipino top words. Today we're gonna discuss 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Food is definitely a big thing in the Philippines, and if you come to the Philippines, you need to try a lot of things. Everyone says it's kind of cheap in the Philippines, so try as much as you want. Let's go! Waiter. Waiter. It's one of those English words that just like ends up in Filipino language as well. Waiter. So as a sample sentence, maybe you're not used to having all male waiters all the time. So here's a sentence for you. Ngayon lang nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. This is my first time in a restaurant with all male waiters. Maybe it's just that shift when you were in, it was all just waiters for that shift. Waitress. Waitress. Well, in English, there's waiter, and then, of course, if it's a female server, then you would say waitress. And that's also what we have gotten from English. We just also call them waitress. Waitress means waitress. For example, if you know, go to a restaurant and like, oh, you know someone, the waitress serving there, you could use this sentence. Kilala ko ang waitress na iyon. Kilala ko ang waitress na iyon. I know that waitress. Well, maybe you should ask for her autograph. Don't ask for a discount. Come on, guys. Like, she's working. It's like, pay her and give her a tip, even if you know her. Menu, meaning menu. It's actually spelled the same way, but because In Filipino, we have a tendency to pronounce things the way they are written. So if it's written menu, there's no y in there. So why would we say it's as a menu? It's a menu. And if there's just a small amount of things you could see from the menu, you could use this sentence. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. They have very few selections on their menu. Well, it's very good for people who can't decide, like me. So sometimes it's not really a bad thing. Actually, like having tons of things in menu may actually be like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever. And maybe it's more efficient if they have so many things in their menu, then they have to prepare that all like in the kitchen, so you don't know if like it might take you longer to get your food if they have more things on their menu. So be thankful that there's only just a very few selection on your menu. Umorder, to order. In case you're one of those people who get hangry, which means angry when you're getting hungry, then you might want to memorize this sentence. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Let's order because I'm hungry. You know, there's always that one person who always wants to chica, wants to gossip before even looking at the menu. So sometimes you just have to be just let's order because it's gonna take them a while to prepare our food and I'm already hungry. So just look at the menu already and order first before we do any chica or taking pictures or taking selfie. Tubig, meaning water. This is one of my favorite things in a restaurant. Tubig. Because, in Philippines it's hot and it's you just after walking around all day or doing shopping or something, then you just want to sit down and get that very refreshing cold water. Yeah. But not only is it refreshing, it's also good for you. So just like in this sentence, magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Let's just have water since it's free and it's good for the health. So, this is true. Water for life. Panghimagas, meaning dessert. Oh no, but you don't want to hear this sentence. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. I'm not fond of desserts. Well, if you are fond of desserts, here's the sentence you might want to use. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Meaning, I'm fond of desserts. So, there you go. Okay, here's another vocabulary you must know for the restaurant, which is chef. It also means chef. We have this culture now where we have celebrity chefs, so we might want to use this sentence. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. The chef of this restaurant is famous. I guess it's also another way of saying the food in this restaurant is gonna be expensive. Masarap. Delicious. Yeah, definitely if you want to say that what you ate was very good, then you should say it's masarap. For example, you just ate somewhere that serves you fried chicken and you really thought it was delicious, then you could say this sample sentence. Masarap ang fried chicken. Masarap ang fried chicken. Fried chicken is delicious. I guess if you just like fried chicken in general, you could also say this. Or if you'd like to recommend the fried chicken in a certain store, then yeah, please go ahead and use this sentence. Kainan, which means restaurant. I guess kainan is just generally a place where you eat. Sometimes it can be a canteen or a cafeteria. It's also like a restaurant. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. I like to eat at cheap restaurants. Yeah, I like this too actually. there is some like eateries in the Philippines which are known for like serving like, they're called lutong bahay, which literally means like home cooked. So it's actually just like a house, and they have like, I guess, a big enough area like in the garage or something, and then they just like cook like whatever, like 3 sets of main dish, and then people just like go there during lunch, and it's very cheap, but it's still like it has that home cooked vibe, so it's very good. Recibo, meaning receipt. So you go to a restaurant and you want your company to pay for it, so you might want to ask for that receipt. Your boss might say this to you, or like you might have a rule for your company saying, laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Always ask for the receipt after eating at a restaurant. Do your invoices properly? Okay, so that's 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. So, for all you foodies, or just, well, if you just wanna go and have a nice time at the restaurant in the Philippines, then this might come in handy. So, hope you like that, and tell me if you have other vocabulary you want to learn about food or restaurant in Filipino, and share them in the comment section. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, please click the like button. It likes you too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe for more lessons in Filipino. Go to filipinopod101.com to learn more Filipino using more tools like vocabulary, flashcards, audio lessons, and more. So, see you again next time. Hanggang sa muli.
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at filipinopod101.com.
Hi guys, kamusta? My name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our topic for today is 10 ways to save the planet in Filipino. Magboluntaryo to volunteer. Magboluntaryo to volunteer. Pagkatapos ng sakuna, maraming oportunidad para magboluntaryo. After a disaster, there are a lot of opportunities to volunteer. Protektahan, to protect. Protektahan, which means to protect. Kailangan nating protektahan ang mga nanganganib na uri ng hayop. In English, we need to protect endangered species. Actually, in Filipino, we use lots of English words. So we can say, kailangan nating protektahan ang mga endangered species. Mag-reuse, to reuse. Mag-reuse, to reuse. Ang pag-reuse ay isang paraan ng pagtitipid. In English, reusing is one way of saving. Pangalagaan, to conserve. Pangalagaan, which means to conserve. In Filipino, pangalagaan natin ang mga likas na yaman. Let's conserve natural resources. Magbawas ng basura, to reduce trash. Magbawas ng basura, to reduce trash. Kailangan magbawas ng basura ang mga industriya. Industries need to reduce their wastes. Don't say it as mga, say it as mga. Pangalagaan ang kalikasan, to care for the environment. Pangalagaan ang kalikasan, to care for the environment. Pangalagaan natin ang kalikasan para sa susunod na henerasyon. Take care of the environment for future generations. Which is actually true. Gumamit ng mga produktong eco-friendly. To use eco-friendly products. Gumamit ng mga produktong eco-friendly. Which means to use eco-friendly products. Ang pagdala ng tote bag sa pamimili sa grocery ay isang paraan ng paggamit ng produktong eco-friendly. Bringing a tote bag to the grocery store is a way of using eco-friendly products. Magtipid ng tubig, to conserve water. Magtipid ng tubig, to conserve water. Dapat tayong magtipid ng tubig dahil hindi lahat ay may sapat na tubig. Beware. We need to conserve water because not everyone has sufficient water. Bumuo ng parke, to build parks. Bumuo ng parke, to build parks. Isang magandang ideya ang bumuo ng parke sa gitna ng lungsod. It's a good idea to build a park in the center of the city. Gumamit ng pampublikong transportasyon. To use public transportation. Gumamit ng pampublikong transportasyon. To use public transportation. Gumamit tayo ng pampublikong transportasyon para mabawasan ang CO2 emissions. Let's use public transportation to reduce CO2 emissions. So that was it for the Filipino top words, 10 ways to save the planet in Filipino. What you guys do to save our planet, and if you reuse, reduce, recycle, or if you use tote bags when you go to the supermarket, please comment it below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you, bye-bye, paalam! Hi everyone, kamusta? My name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. So our topic for today is 10 things to do in the summer in the Philippines. First word is magbiyahe sa ibang bansa. To travel abroad. The first word is magbiyahe sa ibang bansa, which means to travel abroad. Magbabiyahe ako sa ibang bansa pag may nakita akong murang plane ticket. I'll travel abroad when I find a cheap plane ticket. So my favorite place actually is El Nido. It's really, what do you call it? It's very calm. The water is not cold, it's not warm, it's just perfect. So you will enjoy it. So start booking now. Mag-relax sa beach. To relax at the beach. Next we have mag-relax sa beach, which means to relax at the beach. Abril ang buwan na pinakamainam na mag-relax sa beach. April is the best month to relax on the beach. So actually for this month, it is now something like 30 to 40 degrees, and April and March are considered the hottest months in the country. Mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang FilipinoPod101.com. To learn Filipino with FilipinoPod101.com. Mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang FilipinoPod101.com, which means to learn Filipino with FilipinoPod101.com. So for example, if you really are very eager to learn Filipino this summer, you can say, subukan mong mag-aral ng Filipino gamit ang FilipinoPod101.com at kasama ang mga kaibigan mong Pilipino. Try learning Filipino using FilipinoPod101.com with your Filipino friends. Matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino. To learn to cook Filipino food. Matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino. To learn to cook Filipino food. So if you want to use it in a sentence, in Filipino, you can say, kung gusto mong matutong magluto ng pagkaing Pilipino, magsimula ka sa adobo. In English, you can say, if you want to learn to cook Filipino food, start with adobo because it's the easiest thing to cook. Mag-ihaw, to have a barbecue. Next word is mag-ihaw, which means to have a barbecue. Pinakamainam ang mag-ihaw ng manok sa beach. It is best to have a chicken barbecue on the beach. You can actually barbecue other stuff, like from chicken, pork, to innards. We even have a coagulated blood. Mag-party, magdamag. To party all night. Next word is mag-party, magdamag. To party all night. Huwag kang masyadong maglasing kung gusto mong mag-party, magdamag. Don't get drunk if you want to party all night. In the summer, it's best to party all night. And actually in many, say Boracay, if you go to Boracay, there are lots of parties all night with bonfire, lots of music, drinking. So, if you want to experience all of these, book a cheap ticket now and come to the Philippines. Mag-hiking. To go hiking. Mag-hiking. In English, to go hiking. For example, we can say, kung gusto mong mag-hiking, siguraduhin mo muna na kaya ng katawan mo. If you want to go hiking, make sure your body can handle it. So now it's very, what they call this, like a thing for young people to climb Mount Pulag, which is the third highest peak in the country. According to Google, it's in Nueva Vizcaya, which is in a bit north of Manila. Magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan. to have fun with friends. Magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan. In English, to have fun with friends. Mas mainam pang magsaya kasama ang mga kaibigan kaysa mag-party, magdamag. It's better to have fun with friends than to party all night. So much not funnier. But you can do anything that you want since it's summer. No one will judge you, it's summer. Dumalo ng summer school. To attend summer school. Next word is dumalo ng summer school. To attend summer school. So in Filipino, you can use it in a sentence like, kaysa sa maglaro ka lang ng computer sa bahay, mas mabuti pang dumalo ka na lang sa summer school. Instead of just playing computer games at home, it's better if you attend a summer school. Manatili sa bahay at mag-internet. To stay inside and browse the internet. Manatili sa bahay at mag-internet. To stay inside and browse the internet. For example, you can say in Filipino, pag tinatamad akong lumabas, nananatili lang ako sa bahay at nag-i-internet. When I'm too lazy to go out, I just stay at home and browse the internet. You put on nice clothes and then the moment you step out of the door, you just melt. So I kind of understand like how some people would want to just stay indoors during summer. And so what you can do is to browse the internet. Wow. And that was it. Thank you very much for watching this video. This has been 10 things to do in the summer in the Philippines. Will you be doing this summer? Where are you going? So if you have any other plans, if you have any plans to do anything that you want to do this summer, don't forget to comment them below and don't forget to subscribe. Salamat! Tara, biyahe tayo!
Hi guys, welcome to Filipino Top Words with me, Ice. And today's topic is 20 words you'll need for the beach. Okay, the first word is shades. Shades actually means sunglasses because it shades your eyes from the sun. For example, pahiram naman ng shades mo. Can I borrow your sunglasses? Salamat! Okay, the next one is tabing dagat, meaning beach. Nakatira ako malapit sa tabing dagat. I live near the beach. I feel like it's peaceful and you could hear the waves crashing. Let's just hope that it's not a huge wave crashing into your house. Yeah, beach. Paglangoy, swimming. Ang paglangoy ay kayang matutunan ng lahat. Swimming is a skill that everyone can learn. I still have hope! Araw, meaning sun. Mas gusto ko ang araw kaysa sa buwan. I prefer the sun to the moon. Kabibe or seashell. Mahilig akong mangolekta ng kabibe. I enjoy collecting seashells. Why though? Swimsuit, which is definitely has the same meaning as swimsuit. Bawal ang hindi naka-swimsuit sa swimming pool na ito. Those who are not wearing swimsuits are not allowed in the swimming pool. I just come in with like t-shirt and shorts. I can't go in. Tagapagsagip, meaning lifeguard. We usually just call them lifeguards anyway. Huwag kang lalayo sa hindi tanaw ng tagapagsagip. Don't go far away beyond the watch of the lifeguard. Yeah, cause like if he can't see you drowning, he can't come and save you. Jet ski! I'm not even saying the meaning for this one. Cause you know what it is. Mayayaman lang ang nakakabili ng sariling jet ski. Only those who are rich can buy their own jet ski. Yeah, cause it's expensive and you don't need it for daily life. Okay, next is beach chair. Meaning, beach chair. For example, ayokong lumangoy kaya doon na lang ako sa may beach chair. I don't want to swim so I'll just stay by the beach chairs. Sandcastle, which means sandcastle. Hindi ko na-enjoy ang paggawa ng sandcastle nung ako ay bata pa dahil parati na lang itong inaalon ng tubig. I never enjoyed building sandcastles when I was young since it kept being washed away. Like, I never really built sandcastles when I was young. It's more of like, let's bury someone in the sand. Yeah. And make like mermaid figures of them. Yeah, you get what I mean. Okay, the next one is palamigan, meaning cooler. This is kind of a straightforward. Lamig means cold or cool. And like if you put the prefix pa and the suffix an, it's gonna be like the place where. So it's like the place where cold. But actually, yeah, most people would just call it a coalman. Yeah, it's one of those brand names that became common names. For example, siguraduhin yung dalhin ang palamigan sa beach para masarap ang inumin. Make sure to bring the cooler on the beach so that our drinks would be thirst quenching. Cause like everywhere it's hot, so we like our drinks cold. A cooler is a must-have. Okay, next is laki ng tubig or tide. Usually in the Philippines, we just call it either high tide or low tide. But anyway, you could use it in the sample sentence. Hindi ako marunong tumingin ng pagpalit ng laki ng tubig. I don't know how to observe the change of tides. Guess if it's like low, it's low tide, and if it's high, it's high tide. There's this expression, if you ask Filipinos like, how many islands are there in the Philippines? They would ask you back, in high tide or low tide? Kulay balat, meaning tan. Bakit ang mga may kulay balat ay gustong magpaputi at ang mga maputi ay gustong magkakulay balat? Why is it that people with tan skin want to have pale skin and people with pale skin want to have tan skin? This is so true. Just be proud of your skin color. Next is snorkeling, meaning snorkeling. May magandang snorkeling spot sa Coron, Palawan. There is a nice snorkeling spot in Coron, Palawan. If you want to go to a beach in the Philippines, please go to Palawan because it's very beautiful. Chinelas or flip-flop. Hindi na kailangan magdala ng sapatos pag pupunta sa beach. Chinelas na lang. There is no need to bring shoes when going to the beach. Just wear flip-flops. Chinelas is part of like Filipino culture. It's like the footwear you use at home. It's also the footwear that parents might use if you're being naughty. Sunblock or sunscreen. Kailangan maglagay ng sunblock dahil hindi maganda sa katawan ang matinding sikat ng araw. It's necessary to put on sunscreen because the strong UV rays is not good for your skin. Yeah, this is very important because like the sun could be very damaging to your skin. Bikini, meaning bikini. Bihira lang ang nakabikini sa beach sa Pilipinas. It's quite rare for people to wear bikinis in the beaches in the Philippines. I never really tried to count who has bikinis and who has swimsuits and who has just t-shirts and shorts. Everyone is free. Beach volleyball, meaning beach volleyball. There's an easy one for you. Beach volleyball ang usong sport kapag tag-init. Beach volleyball is a trendy sport during the summer. Okay, the next word is puno ng niyog. Coconut tree. Noong bata kami, mahilig kaming umakyat sa puno ng niyog. When we were young, we liked to climb the coconut trees so that you get the coconuts. The next one is pamaypay, meaning fan. Gusto kong bumili ng pamaypay. I want to buy a fan. It's like, yeah, like if it's hot, you just need a fan. Or a lot of fans. We also use fans for barbecuing, so it's very popular during the summer. Okay, so that's it. That's the 20 words you'll need for the beach. And actually, if you know more words that you could use in the beach, just put them in the comments below. So, and if you like this video, please click the thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, please go to our site, filipinopod101.com. Thank you. Salamat.
Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica and for today, we will learn about gift ideas you must know in Filipino. Laptop. Laptop. The first gift idea is laptop or laptop. Hindi na masyadong uso ang laptop ngayon. Laptops are no longer trendy recently. If you give a laptop for a gift, you're very generous, right? I mean, they're very cheap laptops, but still you're very generous if you're that generous, let's give. Pabango. Perfume. Pabango. Or perfume. Hindi ko alam kung anong pabango ang mabango. I don't know which perfume is fragrant. Giving perfume is a common gift, right? Perfume. When I was in high school, we have a very close teacher, and then because every Christmas we have gift giving, and then this teacher picked one of my classmates that he doesn't really know. So he was asking us, "Oh, what should I give to this girl?" And then we're like, "We don't know, but we don't know actually." And then he said, "Oh, what about perfume?" And then my immediate reaction was like, "Oh no, she might be offended." I don't even know why I said that. At the end of the story, he didn't give her perfume. Aklat, book. Aklat or book. Ang isa sa pinakamagandang regalong ibigay ay aklat. One of the best gifts to give is a book. And this I definitely agree with. So I like receiving books. Love letter. Love letter. Next gift idea is love letter. Or in English, love letter. May mga taong mas gustong makatanggap ng love letter kaysa sa mga material na regalo. There are people who prefer love letters more than any material gift. And I'm not one of those. Just my boyfriend gave me a card. And I was like, what is this? Because usually you give a card with a gift, right? Like you have a gift and then you have a little card that says, "Oh, this is a gift for you." This is not the actual gift. But okay, some people just like it simple. That's why he gave me a bike. Camera. 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 Or camera. Kapag ba may magandang camera ka, gaganda rin ang mga kuha mo. Will your photos improve if you have a good camera? In English, it doesn't sound so sarcastic. In Filipino, it sounds really sarcastic. I don't know why. But, I mean, if you're giving camera as a gift, wow, very generous. Disposable point and shoot, 300 pesos, you can get one. But if you want to give an SLR, no, it's too much money. Sorry. I'm going to give you a love letter then. Smartphone. 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 In English, smartphone. Mabilis ang paglabas ng bagong modelo ng smartphone ngayon. These days, the turnaround of new smartphone models is fast. But again, if you're going to give smartphone as a gift, that means you're very generous. Game console. Game console. Next gift idea is game console or game console. High-tech na ngayon ang mga game console. Halos virtual reality na. Game consoles nowadays are high-tech. It's almost virtual reality. I think second-hand consoles are kind of cheap, so you can give them as gifts. Diccionario. Dictionary. Diccionario or dictionary. Mainam iregalo ang isang diksyonaryo sa nag-aaral ng wikang Filipino. A dictionary is an ideal gift for those who are studying the Filipino language. Or probably a subscription for a Filipino language course. That's a better idea. I have a Kindle because my apartment is kind of small. So I buy books before, but I realized that there's no space for books anymore. So I decided to buy a Kindle. Kindle is not so expensive. And then I get to read more books than before. And it saves me space and it doesn't make any mess in the house. Because sometimes you just leave books here and there, right? So I think an electronic dictionary is going to be a very useful gift, especially for someone who's studying the language. Or, as I've mentioned, a subscription. Trip sa Boracay. Boracay trip. Trip sa Boracay or Boracay trip. Mabibigla siya pag ililibre mo siya ng trip sa Boracay. He or she will be surprised if you will treat him or her to a Boracay trip. So, this is a very good gift idea. Or trip to other places like Baguio, closer, right? Batangas. Because we have nice places all around the country. Magarbong kainan. Fancy restaurant. Next gift idea is magarbong kainan or fancy restaurant. Maraming magarbong kainan sa Manila. There are a lot of fancy restaurants in Manila. Online, you can buy vouchers, right, for discounted tickets, discounted prices for meals in different fancy restaurants. So I remember my brother when he had his, I don't know how old he is, but when he treated us for his birthday, he bought some vouchers online for this very fancy restaurant. So we went there and then it was his treat. And he saved a lot of money. And then we ate a lot, actually. So you can buy those things online. There's so many places online, Philippine websites, right, that they sell those gift certificates and vouchers. So that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned something new. And what other gift ideas do you know and do you think your friends would like if you give them? If you have any other gift ideas, don't forget to comment them down below and like and subscribe our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino words, head on to filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli! Hi, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our topic for today is, what are your top 10 language learning goals for the year? Tatapusin ko ang Survival Phrases series sa filipinopod101.com sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig sa 2 aralin bawat araw. I'll finish Survival Phrases series on filipinopod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. The first goal is, tatapusin ko ang Survival Phrases series sa filipinopod101.com sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig sa 2 aralin bawat araw. In English, I'll finish Survival Phrases series on filipinopod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. Yeah, this is very good series to learn because you would be able to survive when you go to the Philippines, if you go to the Philippines. Tatapusin ko ang isang libro sa Filipino sa pamamagitan ng pagbabasa ng 10 pahina bawat araw. I'll finish reading 1 Filipino book by reading 10 pages a day. Tatapusin ko ang isang libro sa Filipino sa pamamagitan ng pagbabasa ng 10 pahina bawat araw. I'll finish reading 1 Filipino book by reading 10 pages a day. That's very good goal, actually. Probably you can finish 1 book depending on the number of pages in a month, right? So this actually like dividing one big goal into small achievable goals. So by dividing the number of pages that you will read, then you're able to finish 1 book. Ipapasa ko ang pagsusulit ko sa Filipino. I'll pass my Filipino test. The next goal is, ipapasa ko ang pagsusulit ko sa Filipino. I'll pass my Filipino test. That is a very good goal. And I think you should also pass your other tests, not just Filipino. This is a good goal in general. By listening to survival phrases and having your number of pages goal, you will be able to pass your exams. Maiintindihan ko ng buo ang isang pelikulang Filipino sa pamamagitan ng panunood nito araw-araw. I'll fully understand 1 Filipino movie by watching it every day. Maiintindihan ko ng buo ang isang pelikulang Filipino sa pamamagitan ng panunood nito araw-araw. I'll fully understand 1 Filipino movie by watching it every day. Oh my God, this is dedication. I mean, you can try watching different things, like alternate, right? Like watch 1 movie Monday, another movie on Tuesday, watch the movie that you watched on Monday, on Wednesday, and then watch the movie that you watched on Tuesday, on Thursday. At least there are 2 movies that you're watching every day alternately, right? Not just 1 movie every day. But still, I mean, even if there are 2 movies, that still means you have lots of time. Magbibigay ako ng 3 minutong introduksyon sa Filipino sa mga kaibigan kong Pilipino. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Filipino to my Filipino friends. Magbibigay ako ng 3 minutong introduksyon sa Filipino sa mga kaibigan kong Pilipino. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Filipino to my Filipino friends. Kamusta? Ako si Erica. Ikinagagalak kitang makilala. Or if there are many, kinagagalak ko kayong makilala. Magkakabisa ako ng 5 kantang Filipino. I'll memorize 5 Filipino songs. Next goal is, magkakabisa ako ng 5 kantang Filipino. I'll memorize 5 Filipino songs. Oh, that's really good. Because as you know, I don't know if you know, but I'm now letting you know, Filipinos like to sing. And if you watch like contests, singing contests everywhere in the world, there's always going to be a Filipino contestant. And we are most probably going to get into the top 5. So it would be good if you can memorize 5 Filipino songs, and when you go to karaoke with them, you can belt it out. and you would really amaze them. Magkakabisa ako ng 350 salita gamit ang flashcards sa filipinopod101.com. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on filipinopod101.com. Magkakabisa ako ng 350 salita gamit ang flashcards sa filipinopod101.com. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on filipinopod101.com. Flashcards is a very good way of learning language because it just like gives you important vocabularies that you can use on a daily basis. So it's really good to learn new words from flashcards. Magsusulat ako ng 10 postcards sa Filipino para sa aking mga kaibigang Pilipino. I'll write 10 postcards in Filipino to my Filipino friends. Magsusulat ako ng 10 postcards sa Filipino para sa aking mga kaibigang Pilipino. I'll write 10 postcards in Filipino to my Filipino friends. It's really a nice thing, a nice gesture to receive, to send a postcard written in your language, right? Especially if it's like really cute way of writing. Like broken Filipino, really cute. Cute. So just a clarification because you might be confused by now. It's not that we are always confused with F and P's, but we are, yes. No, but Filipino refers to the language, while Filipino refers to the people. Because if you refer to a Filipino person in English, then that person will be Filipino. But if you're referring to a Filipino person in Filipino, then that will be Filipino. Wow! Kakabisaduhin ko ang 150 salita sa pamamagitan ng pagkakabisa ng 5 salita bawat araw. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. Kakabisaduhin ko ang 150 salita sa pamamagitan ng pagkakabisa ng 5 salita bawat araw. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. Oh, wow. This list of goals is just like all numbers. Like 50 words, 150 words, 5 words. I think you'll be really good in math after this. But that's a good way to break down, as we've said, your goals into achievable goals. Sasali ako sa mga organisasyong Pilipino para makasalamuha ang mga native speakers. I'll join Filipino organizations to interact with native speakers. Sasali ako sa mga organisasyong Pilipino para makasalamuha ang mga native speakers. I'll join Filipino organizations to interact with native speakers. Oh, that is very good goal then, because in organizations, you will meet lots of different people, especially, say, if your organization is, say, hobby-based or even, like, issue-based, then you would be able to practice your Filipino, not just, say, on the level of greetings and, like, small talk, but actually real conversations. So that is a very good goal. We hope that we helped you organize your goals so that you can learn Filipino much easier. So how do you learn Filipino? If you have any other goal that you want to share with us or any other way of learning Filipino, don't forget to comment them down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe. Then if you want to see other videos like this, then head on to filipinopod101.com. Salamat! Yay!
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at filipinopod101.com.
Hi everyone! Kamusta? My name is Erica. Welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today's topic, we are going to talk about the top 25 phrases. Let's begin. Kamusta ka? Hello, how are you? The first phrase is kamusta ka? Hello, or how are you? So when you're meeting someone for the first time, you try to be a bit more polite and say, instead of kamusta ka, you say kamusta po kayo, which is the same as hello, how are you? Magandang umaga, good morning. So the next word is magandang umaga, which means good morning. People there are very, very warm, very kind. So it's very common to hear like people greeting each other when they pass by each other in the corridor and like in the classroom, for example, in the office. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Magandang tanghali. Good noon. So now what do we say when it's noon? We say magandang tanghali. Good noon. In the Philippines, especially during lunchtime, when you come in and then like it's everyone is eating, you always say magandang tanghali. And then when they hear you say it, you sound as if you're a native speaker. Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Okay, so when the morning is done, noon is over, then what do you say? Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Magandang gabi. Good evening. So if you want to say good evening, you say magandang gabi. Anong pangalan mo? What's your name? So what if you're going to ask someone for their name? So you say, anong pangalan mo? Or, what's your name? If you meet someone for the first time, if it's the morning, you say, good morning. What's your name? Magandang umaga. Anong pangalan mo? When you want to ask someone for their name, you need to be polite. So, you add po, which is the particle, and then you use the plural form of you. So you say, ano pong pangalan nyo? Ako si, I'm. If you are on the receiving end of that question, then you say, ako si, name. Or, I'm, name. Ako si Erica. I'm Erica. Ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. If you want to express now how happy you are to meet this new person, then you would say, ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. Since this is the first time you're meeting this person, you should use the polite form, which is, ikinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Ayos lang ako. Ikaw. I'm fine. And you? When someone asks you, how are you? Of course, either you are okay or you're not. You will say, you are fine. So how do you say it in Filipino? You would say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. In English, I'm fine. And you? Or if you're not okay, you can say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. Paki. Please. So if you want to ask someone for a favor, what would you say? In English, we say please. In Filipino, we use a prefix that we say as paki. We add to another verb. So for example, we say, please bring this to the office. Then you will say in Filipino, pakidala ito sa opisina. Salamat. Thank you. Salamat or thank you. Walang anuman. You're welcome. Then, you also want to be polite and say, you're welcome. Or in Filipino, walang anuman. Oo. Yes. How do you express agreement in Filipino? You say, oo, which means yes. Very simple. For example, there's an older person talking to you and you want to say yes. You should be a bit more polite and say, opo. Hindi. No. So what if you want to say no? Then you use hindi. Or if you want to be polite, you say hindi po. Sige. Okay. So say you have a friend who asks you, do you want to drink with me all night, have party all night, you know, those kind of things. And then you say, yeah, fine, okay. So in Filipino, you say, sige. Paumanhin. Excuse me. So for example, you have an older colleague at work and this person is busy, but you need to ask her for something. So you say, excuse me. And in Filipino, you say, paumanhin or paumanhin po, to be more polite. Patawad. I'm sorry. If you did something really, really bad, then we use patawad. I'm sorry. Anong oras na? What time is it? So what does anong oras na mean? It means, what time is it? Nasaan ang CR? Where is the restroom? Nasaan ang CR? Or, to be polite, Because even at that time, you have to be polite. Even if it's like really urgent, you have to be polite. You say, nasaan po ang CR? Hindi ko alam. I don't know. Hindi ko alam. I don't know. If your boss asks you, oh, where is your office mate, this person? And then you don't know, then you say, hindi ko po alam. Sandali lang. Wait a moment. So if you say to your boss, because your boss is asking you, where is the report? You want to say, wait a moment. So you say, sandali lang po. So your friends came over to your house and you haven't taken a bath. You haven't fixed yourself. And then your friends just want to go out to have fun. But you want to say, wait a moment, wait a minute. Give me like an hour or something to at least get ready. So you say, sandali lang. Magkano ito? How much is this? So you finally got dressed and then you went out with your friend. And you are at the mall, like looking at some nice pearls, because in the Philippines we have lots of pearls. How will you ask the salesperson? So you can say, magkano po ito? Or if you're a friend, or if it's like a younger salesperson probably, you can just simply say, magkano ito? How much is this? Pwede bang makuha na ang bill? Could I get the check, please? After dinner, you want to pay because it's your treat, because you forced your friends to eat adobo. So you would ask the waitress or the waiter for the check. So how do you say it in Filipino? Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Could I get the check, please? Or, if you cannot remember all these, just simply do this. Tulong. Help. So you're walking in the street and then you're very not careful with your things. So you're walking, you're holding your bag like this, and someone stole your bag. Like, oh. You want to call for help. So what do you say? You say, tulong, help. And then the more you scream it, the more people will hear you. Hanggang sa muli. See you again soon. It's the end of the day, and you've had fun with your friends. So you tell your friends, oh, okay, bye. See you again soon. Which in Filipino is hanggang sa muli. But in regular conversations, you don't really say this. We tend to say, see you, or sige. That was the last word for today, and thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you learned new words. So what words have you heard? What words have you used before? Put them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to FilipinoPod101.com. Bye! Hi everyone, kamusta? I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about top 25 verbs that you will need when you go to the Philippines. So let's go ahead and get started. Maging, to become. Maging, to become. Maging can mean to be or to become. Mahirap maging hindi tapat sa sarili. It's hard not to be honest with yourself. Gustuhin, to like. So next word is gustuhin, to like. Nagustuhan niya ang pinadala mo. She liked what you sent. Gawin, to do. Next word is gawin, which means to do. It's easier said than done. In Filipino, we say, mas madaling sabihin kaysa gawin. And your mom will always use this because your mom always has many things that she wants you to do. Sabihin, to say. So our next verb is sabihin. In English, it can mean either to say or to tell. So for example, we want to say in English, don't tell our secret to anyone. In Filipino, you would say, huwag mong sabihin ang sikreto natin kahit kanino. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Dapat ipaliwanag ng guro ng mabuti ang paksa. The teacher should explain the matter thoroughly. So for example, you're resting, looking at your phone, and then here comes your mom and tells you, magpaliwanag ka. Explain. This is very useful when you have to talk to your mom. Marinig, to hear. Marinig, to hear. Hindi kita marinig. I can't hear you. Again, you can use this when you're talking to your mom. Probably you can tell her, I didn't do this because I didn't hear you tell me do this. That's a very unsatisfactory answer for your mom all the time. Pumunta, to go. Pumunta, to go. So we can say, gusto kong pumunta sa Palawan. I want to go to Palawan. Tara na, biyahe tayo. Alamin, to know. Alamin, to know. Gusto kong alamin kung mas mahirap bang matutunan ang Japanese o Chinese. I want to know if it's harder to learn Japanese or Chinese. Compared to Japanese or Chinese, Filipino is easier, right? So, please take the time to study Filipino. You will take less time than studying Japanese than if you go and study Japanese or Chinese. So, you know what to learn. Kunin, to take. Kunin, to take. For example, we want to say in English, please take the bill so that we can leave already. In Filipino, what you will say is, kunin mo na ang bill natin para makaalis na tayo. So when you go to the Philippines and you eat at a restaurant and you want to ask for the check, just do this hand sign. Makita, to see. Makita, to see. Huwag kang mainis pag nakita mo. Don't get annoyed when you see it. So, what are the things that you get annoyed when you see? Dumating, to arrive. Dumating, to arrive. Dumating na ang pinakahihintay mong balita. Your long-awaited news has finally arrived. Isipin, to think. Isipin, to think. Isipin nating mabuti bago magdesisyon. Let's think of it thoroughly before making a decision. Actually, this is very important because every day of your life you have to think. Tumingin, to look. Tumingin, to look. Huwag kang tumingin sa malayo pag may kausap ka. Don't look far away when you're talking with someone. Because obviously you're talking with someone, right? How would it feel like if you're talking to this person face to face and you're looking at the side like this? Naisin, to want. Naisin, to want. I want to become an engineer rather than be a doctor. Mas nais kong maging inhinyero kaysa maging doktor. Magbigay, to give. Magbigay, to give. For example, someone asks you, oh, who can give me advice on something? And then you say, Alex gives excellent advice on whatever that is. In Filipino, how you would say it, magaling magbigay ng payo si Alex. Gamitin, to use. Gamitin, to use. So for example, I don't know where you can use actually you can use gamitin a lot. For example, let's use it in a proper sentence. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ang may nakasulat na bawal gamitin. So in English, we can say, we can't use the ones which are marked don't use. I have a pretty straightforward, don't use it. Hanapin, to find. Hanapin, to find. You're asking your mom, where is this thing that I'm looking for? So she says, Pina, find it in the second drawer. In Filipino, it means, hanapin mo sa ikalawang drawer. Usually, your mom will call you Pina, according to her, if you don't use your eyes to look for things. It's actually very useful. So just remember that if you are going to look for something, don't ask your mom. Because you don't know what kind of fate will befall you. You might be a pineapple at the end. Lumabas, to go out. Lumabas, or to go out. So, you want to ask permission from your parents before you go out. How do we say it in Filipino? Magpaalam ka muna sa iyong mga magulang bago ka lumabas. Ask permission from your parents before you go out. Someday, kids, you will be parents too. Magtanong, to ask. Magtanong, to ask. So, for example, you have a new office mate and you want to tell your office mate, huwag kang mahiyang magtanong kapag hindi mo alam ang sagot. In English, what you just said means, don't hesitate to ask if you don't know the answer. Magtrabaho, to work. The next verb is magtrabaho, or to work. So, for example, you want to say, as much as possible, I don't want to work overtime. In Filipino, you can tell your boss, ayaw kong magtrabaho ng overtime hanggat maaari. Mag, it's the way you conjugate verbs, but it's in Filipino. And then trabajo comes from the Spanish word trabajo. Pumasok, to enter. Pumasok, to enter. For example, you went to a club and you have a friend who looks 18, actually, who looks younger than 18, like a high school student. So you can tell this friend, you are not allowed to enter the club if you're under 18 years old. Or in Filipino, bawal pumasok sa club ang mas bata sa 18 taong gulang. Maramdaman, to feel. So next verb is maramdaman or to feel. For example, you really are irritated with a person and you don't want the person to feel that you're irritated with him or her. So if you want to say in English, I don't want her to feel that I'm frustrated, then you would say in Filipino, ayaw kong maramdaman niya ang inis ko sa kanya. But I think you have to approach her and tell her that you are frustrated. So go ahead and tell her. Subukan. To try. Subukan. This again, some like really inspiring example sentences that we have here. You want to say to your friend because you want to be really encouraging. Why don't you try it before you say that you can't? And assuming that this friend cannot understand English, then you would have to learn the Filipino. You would say, bakit di mo subukan bago mo sabihin na hindi mo kaya? Mag-iwan. To leave. Mag-iwan. It actually means to leave something. You want to say in Filipino, mag-iwan ka ng 500 pesos or ng 500 piso para pambili ng pagkain. In English, please leave 500 pesos to buy food. Tumakbo, to run. Last verb for this lesson is tumakbo or to run. So for example, you are running and then you realize it's 200 meters already. So you would say, it's tiring to run more than 200 meters. And in Filipino, if you really want to say it, you would say, nakakapagod tumakbo ng higit sa 200 metro. So that's it for our lesson for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Do you have any other Filipino verbs that you know that didn't make it to the list? Go ahead and don't hesitate. Please subscribe. Stay here until the next lesson begins.
Hi everyone, I'm Ice and welcome to another lesson in Filipino Top Words. Today's lesson is 15 favorite words chosen by fans. Okay, the first word is bakasyon, which means vacation. I think I know why this one is a chosen word because like everyone wants a vacation. Yes, everyone. Of course, since everyone wants a vacation, then most people would be asking this. Kailan ang susunod nating bakasyon? Kailan ang susunod nating bakasyon? This means, when is our next vacation? When is our next vacation? Don't know. Well, on your next vacation, go to the Philippines. And you'll have a lot of fans. Balut. Balut. Our next favorite word chosen by is balut. I think it's also translated as balut because it's a type of food. Some people might not call it food, especially vegetarians and vegans. But balut is this it's duck egg, which has an almost duck inside. Anyway, it's actually very nice. I don't really eat the duck. I give it to my mom. But the other parts aren't nice. Anyway, as an example, masarap ang balot. Masarap ang balot. This means balot is delicious. I think it is. But I don't think that's the only opinion about it. Okay, our next favorite word is kaibigan, meaning friend. Let me say something about this word, because like, you have to say it like this. Kaibigan. Kaibigan. Because kaibigan means friend. But when you twist it a bit and say it like this, kaibigan. Kaibigan. That's kind of, it's not really a natural way of saying it, but it actually means lover. So like when you tease your friends that like you think might be getting together, you say like, are you sure you're kaibigan or kaibigan? And you know, there's a saying, quality over quantity. So maybe for people who doesn't have much friends, you could use this sentence. Kakaunti lamang ang aking kaibigan. kakaunti lamang ang aking kaibigan. This means I only have a few friends. So yeah, it's not always about the quantity. Kumusta? How are you? Well, for Spanish people out there, you might recognize this a bit because it comes from the Spanish ¿Cómo estás? Because, long time ago, 300 years of Spanish colonizations will make your language have some Spanish things in them. Definitely remember this. And here's one point that you should know, but when Filipino people actually ask you kumusta, it's not just how English-speaking people would say, how are you? And then it's just like a greeting. When Filipino actually ask kumusta, they really want to know how you are. So people really answer back how they are. Another favorite word chosen by fans is kape, coffee. And, if you want to order coffee, you want to know how to say it so that you can order it every day. Because some people do not exist without coffee. Well, they are technically not yet alive without coffee in them. So remember this word, kape. For some people, this is not true. This is actually not true for me. But if it is true, you could use this sentence. Hindi ako mahilig sa kape. Hindi ako mahilig sa kape. This means I don't like coffee. Please forgive me. It's just a sample sentence. Like I do like coffee. Maganda, which means beautiful. Yeah, I like this word. I do like this. Why do I like this? Because it's nice. It's beautiful. Anyway, if someone called Maria and you think they're beautiful, you could use this sentence. Maganda si Maria. Maganda si Maria. Which means Maria is beautiful. Well, basically, you could just add any other name you want to put in there to mean that they are beautiful. And I think it'll make their day. Or you could just say maganda ka, which means you are beautiful. Yeah. Definitely make a habit of saying that to people. Okay, the next word is magmahal, to love. It also kind of means, well, not kind of, it also means sometimes to get expensive. So, make sure you're using the right context. Ang magmahal ay magsakripisyo. Ang magmahal ay magsakripisyo. Which means to love is to sacrifice. Okay, our next favorite word is malusog, which means healthy. Yeah, I guess you want this word to be true for you and your family. But it's also Filipino is such a difficult language. Everything has a double meaning. So when someone says you're malusog, it's either you're healthy or you're basically not thin, meaning you're healthy and growing sideways. Anyway, context. But yeah, usually it means healthy. Like in this example, mag-ehersisyo ng sapat upang maging malusog. Mag-ehersisyo ng sapat upang maging malusog. Exercise enough to be healthy. So you see from this context that malusog is healthy and not growing sideways. Our next favorite word is maniwala, meaning to believe. Why do you think it's a favorite word? Maybe you could help me figure this out. You could put your comments in the comment section. Anyway, you might need this example sometime in your life when you want someone to believe in you. Maniwala ka sa akin. Maniwala ka sa akin. This means believe in me. Yes, please believe that I know Filipino. Please believe that I know Filipino. Because I'm Filipino. Masaya. Happy. It's nice to be happy, so this word is a lot of people's favorite word. And since a lot of people can be happy, a lot of people can also be cheesy. And they could say this to someone that they're happy to see. And it is Masaya akong makita kang muli. Masaya akong makita kang muli. This means I am happy to see you again. Well, I am happy to see you again here. And I hope you are happy to see me again here. So, let's be happy together. Matulog, meaning to sleep. Earlier, it seems like people like the word for coffee, which is kape. But I think a lot more people like this word better. Yeah, if you don't want to feel a zombie in the morning, this is always what is advised to me. And that is, matulog ka ng maaga. Matulog ka ng maaga. This means you should sleep early. Which is technically impossible right now because it's like 1:30 in the morning and I have a lot of fans to work with. Here's our next favorite word. Pera. This means money. Can I borrow money? Guess not. I know this word is a favorite for a lot of people, but I think a lot of people also want to know what this sentence is in Filipino. Wala akong pera. Wala akong pera. Which means I have no money. So I cannot treat you anything. But if we have love, that's enough, I think. Respeto. Meaning respect. This is easy to remember, but it's not very easy to remember to have most of the time, I think. So, something you should remember, not just the word. So, as a sample sentences, I think this applies mostly to everyone. Lahat ay gusto ng respeto. Lahat ay gusto ng respeto. This means everyone wants respect. And I think everyone deserves respect. I mean, if they give respect in return, I don't know, it's that vicious cycle. Okay, our next favorite word is salamat, which means thank you. This is a very, very good word to remember and should be in your top favorite words. Salamat. It's easy to remember, but like most people do not remember how to reply to salamat in Filipino as well, which is walang anuman. You can always just say you're welcome. Okay, the next word is nahihilo, meaning dizzy. Wonder why people like this word, nahihilo. I mean, I myself do not like this word because I do not want to be dizzy. If someone invites you to go to the merry-go-round and you can't really hack it, you could say this sentence. Nahihilo ako sa merry-go-round. Nahihilo ako sa merry-go-round. This means I get dizzy riding the merry-go-round. If you're in the Philippines and you go to our favorite and only amusement park near Manila, you probably know what a flying fiesta is. And usually people are nahihilo in the flying fiesta. Okay, so that's 15 favorite words chosen by fans. Well, I hope you learned some favorite words, or like I hope you found your favorite words from that list. Or if you have any other favorite words, like favorite words in Filipino or favorite words in your language that you want to be translated in Filipino, just comment it in the comment section. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button somewhere in there. If you want to get notified when we have more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and we'll have more video lessons. And if you want to have access to more tools to learn Filipino, like vocabulary lists, audio lessons, and more stuff, head on to filipinopod101.com to learn more Filipino. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you next time. Hanggang sa muli. Salamat. Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. Welcome to Filipino Toppers with me, Ice, and today's topic is 10 hardest words to pronounce. Okay, so just try and say these words, and I'm sure like your Filipino friends will be very impressed. Try practicing these words so you can pronounce it properly.
Baba baba, going down.
This first one is actually a sentence and it's just made of one syllable, which is ba. So it goes baba baba, it means going down. Baba means down, and bababa means going down, and the ba at the end is like our question marking particle. So baba baba. If you're going down and someone asks this to you, then you just reply with oo, meaning yes, or bababa. So bababa, bababa. It's like the longest conversation in Filipino using one syllable.
Bulaklak, flower.
Okay, next is bulaklak, meaning flower. For example, mabango ang bulaklak. The flower smells good.
Dumadagundong, rumbling.
Dumadagundong, meaning rumbling. Doesn't it sound like it's a rumbling noise? Like dumadagundong. It's like all the bass in that word. For example, dumadagundong na ang bagyo sa labas. The storm is already rumbling outside. Dumadagundong. Dumadagundong. Dumadagundong.
Di ka pani-paniwala, unbelievable.
Next is di ka pani-paniwala, meaning unbelievable. For example, di ka pani-paniwala ang sinapit ng pamilya niya. The plight of his family is unbelievable.
Kagilagilalas, astounding.
Next is kagilagilalas, which means astounding. Hindi na ako nakakakita ng kagilagilalas na pangyayari. I no longer see any astounding events.
Kinakailangan, important.
Next one is kinakailangan, meaning important. Kinakailangan laging maging tapat sa trabaho. We must always be honest at work.
Kumukuti-kutitap, twinkling.
Next one is kumukuti-kutitap, meaning twinkling. So I guess the hard part of this is like the vowels, because like it's mostly u, but there's like I and somewhere. Kumukuti-kutitap. I guess the only way to pronounce this is to remember all the syllables. Kumukuti-kutitap, twinkling. Ang between ay kumukuti-kutitap. The star is twinkling. How would you even sing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap. Try to say it very fast, like kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap.
Mamasa-masa, moist.
The next is mamasa-masa, meaning moist. You have to be careful of the accents here because masa means moist, but there's another word spelled the same called masa, which means the masses. So masa and masa. So just be careful to say it as masa. Mamasa-masa. For example, mamasa-masa pa ang damo. The grass is still moist.
Misterioso, mysterious.
Next one is misterioso, meaning mysterious. I don't know, it sounds like it's easy enough to pronounce, like just mysterious becomes misterios with an O at the end. Like Spanish people could do it. Misterioso. For example, siya ay isang misteryosong babae, meaning she is a mysterious woman.
Patalastas, commercial.
Next one is patalastas, meaning commercial. This one, I actually had a problem saying this when I was a kid, and I just remember it being very hard for me, but yeah, now it's fine. For example, laging maraming patalastas ang laban ni Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's fights always have a lot of commercials. Cause yeah, those things like involve a lot of money. So they need a lot of commercials. Okay, and that's it for today. That was 10 hardest words to pronounce. Which do you think is the hardest one to pronounce for you? Like, just comment it down below. Do you have any word that you think is hard for me to pronounce? And I will accept your challenge. Or like if you could think of any word that is hard to pronounce in Filipino, put it in the comment below. Maybe I'll try to say it for you in the next lessons. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, press the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, check out our site, filipinopod101.com. See you again next time. Thank you, salamat, and paalam.
Hi everyone, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. The lesson for today is the top 10 tourist attractions in the Philippines. The first tourist attraction is Hagdan-Hagdang Palayan ng Banawe. Banawe Rice Terraces. Ang Hagdan-Hagdang Palayan ng Banawe ay gawa ng mga taga-Ifugao. Ang Hagdan-Hagdang Palayan ng Banawe ay gawa ng mga taga-Ifugao. The Banawe Rice Terraces were made by the Ifugaos. So, Ifugao is part of the Cordillera Autonomous Region, right? And in that area, actually, it's very mountainous. So, it's very hard to plant anything. Not that it's really hard, but then the topography of the place, it's not really easy to like do agriculture. So, what many of the Ifugao people there did was to carve the side of the mountain into these sort of like to these sort of terraces. That's why we call it hagdan-hagdan, literally like stairs, because they look like stairs. And then on those flat areas, then now you can plant rice. But this is a very nice place. So if you want to experience nature, then please come to the rice terraces. The next tourist destination is Boracay. Boracay. Boracay ang isa sa pinakasikat na beach sa Pilipinas. Boracay ang isa sa pinakasikat na beach sa Pilipinas. Boracay is one of the most popular beaches in the Philippines. Can be a bit crowded, but it still has one of the most beautiful fine sand beaches that I've seen, right? You can choose different places where you want to stay because there are so many, also so many tourists. And now actually because they wanted to clean up the beach, also clean up the water, so they're closing it for 6 months, and hopefully like it's going to be better because a very good place, very, very popular place. So the next top destination is Palawan. Palawan. Paborito kong isla ang Palawan dahil sa dami ng pwedeng mapuntahan na pang turista. Paborito kong isla ang Palawan dahil sa dami ng pwedeng mapuntahan na pang turista. Palawan is my favorite island because of its numerous tourist destinations. So we went to Palawan, I think, in 2015. So we went there in 2015 with some friends. It was actually very easy to do island hopping. This popular places to go in Palawan is El Nido. The underground river is a very popular place to visit. Everything is protected in Palawan. It also boasts of lots of flora and fauna. And natural resources, Palawan is very, very rich. So the next place is Surigao del Norte. Surigao del Norte. Kung gusto mong mag-surfing, punta na sa Surigao del Norte. Kung gusto mong mag-surfing, punta na sa Surigao del Norte. If you want to go surfing, then go to Surigao del Norte. I actually haven't been to Surigao del Norte, but I've seen pictures, and it's a really good place for surfing. But Surigao del Norte is a bit on the south, but on the side of the Pacific Ocean. So the waves there are much stronger. So it's very good for surfing if you're into such sports. I would want to go there one day. So the next place is Cebu. Cebu. Ang Cebu ay kombinasyon ng kasaysayan, mga isla at lungsod. Ang Cebu ay kombinasyon ng mga isla at mga lungsod na may mahabang kasaysayan. Cebu is a combination of islands and cities with a rich history. If you want a calmer place but still want, say, the city, then you can go to Cebu. And just like take say 5-hour, 3-hour drive to somewhere, you will end up in a very nice beach. So for instance, when we were there, we went to Bantayan Island, and it's really like one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen because it's really quiet. No one is there. Just like long stretches of shoreline. The water is very blue, very calm, very, very nice. So the next place is Davao. Davao. Ang Davao ang isa sa pinakamatiwasay na lungsod sa Pilipinas. Ang Davao ang isa sa pinakamatiwasay na lungsod sa Pilipinas. Davao is one of the safest cities in the Philippines. So I've been to Davao, I think twice. Really clean city. Really, and the thing that I enjoyed most in Davao is tuna. Davao is known for tuna and durian, right? Also. And tuna there, it's very affordable and very, very good and very, very fresh. I was there with some of my Japanese colleagues, and every day we're eating tuna. It's tuna. But we liked it. So we ordered like tuna belly, or tuna cheek, or tuna jaw, or tuna head. It's the same thing. Like the entire tuna, but chopped. So if you want to eat really good tuna and durian, please come to Davao. The next place is Vigan. Vigan. Makikita mo sa Vigan ang mga arkitektura mula pa noong panahon ng mga Kastila. Makikita mo sa Vigan ang mga arkitektura mula pa noong panahon ng mga Kastila. You could find in Vigan architecture from the Spanish colonial period. So I went there with my friends. One of them is from Chile. So when we arrived in Vigan, his immediate reaction was like, "Oh, this reminds me of my town." So it really looks like a Spanish town, like a small Spanish town. And Vigan is a very small, cute town, right? And then it's famous for empanada, bagnet. Bagnet is like a crispy pork. But in Vigan, you dip it in vinegar because they use a special sausage, which is a vegan sausage, right? Which is kind of like more garlicky than other longganisa, we call it. So the next place is Talon ng Pagsanhan, Pagsanhan Falls. Ang Talon ng Pagsanhan ang isa sa pinakasikat na talon sa Pilipinas. Ang Talon ng Pagsanhan ang isa sa pinakasikat na talon sa Pilipinas. Pagsanhan Falls is one of the most famous waterfalls in the Philippines. I remember when I was a kid, so we went there with my family, and we have so much relatives, so we were there in a really big group. And I remember they were telling me that there's kind of like a legend that it's dangerous to swim across Pagsanhan Falls because usually in most lakes, right, they say that it's dangerous to swim across because then something like pulls you down. Something that lives in the water or something. So when we were there, we were on these rafts. So it was kind of scary, but also very fun because Pagsanhan Falls is a very, very pretty place. And it's really, really clean water, really, really fresh. So naturey. There's such a word, naturey. But really, really nice place. And then we were just having like a barbecue, some grilled fish and stuff. Really, really nice experience. The next is Bicol. Bicol. Sa Bicol makikita ang bulkang Mayon na may halos perpektong hugis apa. Sa Bicol makikita ang bulkang Mayon na may halos perpektong hugis apa. In Bicol, one can see Mayon volcano, which has an almost perfect cone shape. But it's very, very beautiful. It's really perfect cone. So if Japan has Mount Fuji, Philippines has Mount Mayon. It's the most beautiful. It's really perfect, like really perfect. Like the slopes are very gentle and it's super perfect cone shape. The next place is Tubataha Reef. Tubataha Reef. Ang larawan ng Tubataha Reef ay makikita sa 1,000 pisong salapi. Ang larawan ng Tubataha Reef ay makikita sa 1,000 pisong salapi. The Tubataha Reef can be seen on the 1,000 peso bill. Again, I don't have any 1,000 peso with me because I'm poor. Tubataha Reef is a very important place because it's an ecosystem, right? Many different aquatic creatures live there. So if we are going to be diving in those areas, please be careful, be responsible, and just be responsible tourists in general. So that is for the end of this lesson, and hope you learned something new. What other place can you suggest to us? So if there is anything that you would want us to know, please don't hesitate to comment them in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli! Hi everyone, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is 10 most romantic ideas for a date. Candlelit dinner. Candlelit dinner. Candlelit dinner. So our first idea is candlelit dinner. Or in English, candlelit dinner. Uso pa ba ngayon ang date na candlelit dinner? Uso pa ba ngayon ang date na candlelit dinner? Is a candlelit dinner still a popular idea for a date? I don't know. Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. We haven't done candlelit dinner. I think, personally for me, I don't like it when I eat in very, like, dimly lit.
Really?
I like eating, like, in dimly lit restaurants, but not, like, super dark, especially when it's just, like, a very small candle.
It doesn't.
No, because of my eyes, I think. Because I need more light.
But usually candlelit dinner is not just candle.
No, but there are some places like that, right? Like, for instance, you eat out in, like, in open spaces, and then they have this. Because it's really, even at home sometimes, like, Svetlin just wants to turn on, like, one of the lamps in the living room. But then to me, it's like, I cannot see my food. I want to see my food. So I turn on everything. I go,
Parang barbecue on camping.
yeah, I don't want to be, I cannot see my food. So, I don't know. But to some people, of course, this is, like, very romantic. And I think it's a very romantic thing because you are prettier, more handsome in the dark. I think that's the purpose of candlelit dinner, right? You have to agree with me. Yes. See? Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. To go for a long walk. Maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. To go for a long walk. Masayang maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. Masayang maglakad ng malayo ng magkasama. It's fun to go on a long walk together. I think this is true because I remember when me and Svetlin are still flirting with each other. We walked for 3 hours. Or I think just because he doesn't have money. He's so poor. Hi, person. So I think but actually this is very good because walking together makes you fit and then makes you more, makes you talk more to each other, right? So then you can have, like, really good conversations while you're talking, and then you see different things, you see different people. You're just, like, very, invigorated while you're walking. But at the same time also because you don't have money, I think. Right? Yes, that means if your partner wants to walk so much, that means it's a very practical partner, right? And also a very poor partner.
Poor but healthy.
Poor and healthy, yeah. So this person will live very long. Prepare to walk for very long. Mag-bowling. Mag-bowling. To go bowling. Mag-bowling or to go bowling. Imbitahin natin ang iba pang kaibigan para mag-bowling. Imbitahin natin ang iba pang kaibigan para mag-bowling. Let's invite some friends to go bowling. Bowling is actually much more fun if you go there with friends, right? Then because you feel, like, very competitive, you just want to beat your friends, beat them to the dust, right?
You could use your bowling ball for that.
Yeah. But I'm never good at bowling. Yeah, so...
It's still fun.
Yeah, but it's really fun even if you're not good at it. It's not so expensive also, right? So it's a good idea for a date, actually, because then you both get fit, you see each other, like, having fun, and then it's not so expensive. Very good. Pumunta sa aquarium. Pumunta sa aquarium. To go to the aquarium. Pumunta sa aquarium. To go to the aquarium. Maraming taong pumupunta sa aquarium para mag-date. Maraming taong pumupunta sa aquarium para mag-date. There are a lot of people going on a date to the aquarium. Have you been for a date?
Not really a date. I'm still a friend thing.
Yeah, I don't actually, I mean, I like seeing fish. I like eating fish. But I'm not like the type of person to actively go to an aquarium for a date. I think
maybe it's also like it's kind of dark and like the water is like
I am moving. It's very romantic, and then again in the dark, you are both like more handsome and prettier, right? And then, yeah.
Or at least you feel like you're prettier than
The fish. Especially if it's a jellyfish. Or it's a blowfish. No, I think for many people, I think especially if you watch Japanese dramas, right? There's always like some scene in the aquarium, right? So, yeah, so probably I think it's a very, especially if it's a pretty aquarium, but if it's like a not so clean looking aquarium, probably not a good place to bring your date to. So choose your aquariums. Pumunta sa opera. Pumunta sa opera. To go to the opera. Pumunta sa opera. Or, to go to the opera. Mahilig si Maria sa opera songs, kaya pumunta sila ni Ibarra sa opera. Mahilig si Maria sa opera songs, kaya pumunta sila ni Ibarra sa opera. Maria likes opera songs. That's why she and Ibarra went to the opera. But in the Philippines, we don't have so much. There are theaters, of course, right? We can go to the theater, watch a play, right? See
musical.
Musical. But opera, we don't really have opera. But before, I think in the history, you had like zarzuela, like really old types of opera, zarzuela or vaudeville, right? Those kinds of older ones. But they're not really being done now, I think. So, yeah, so those old songs. So that's why probably Maria likes opera songs, because it reminds her of her because Maria and Ibarra are Maria Clara actually. And Ibarra are characters from a novel by our national hero Jose Rizal. And yeah, they like opera songs. Pumunta sa zoo. Pumunta sa zoo. To go to the zoo. Pumunta sa zoo. To go to the zoo. Pumunta kami sa zoo sa Kenya. Pumunta kami sa zoo sa Kenya. We went to a zoo in Kenya. Wow, they're very rich. You go to Kenya and just go to a zoo. Right. I haven't been to Kenya. I wish I could go to Kenya. I think it would be really, really exciting to go to Kenya. But if you don't have money and you're already in the Philippines, there's so many zoos in there, right? Manila Zoo is one big zoo.
Wildlife.
Yeah, Parks and Wildlife in Quezon City, right? And where else?
If you're in Bohol, you go see Tarsier.
Yeah, so see Tarsier if you're in Bohol. And we have so much like fauna, right? So much to see in the Philippines. You will look at very cute animals, scary animals.
And why do you think it's romantic to?
But I don't know also. I don't know. Let's ask people. Why is it romantic to go to the zoo? Please let us know. Mag-picnic. Mag-picnic. To have a picnic. Mag-picnic. Or to have a picnic. Masayang mag-picnic kasama ang ibang kaibigan. Masayang mag-picnic kasama ang ibang kaibigan. It's enjoyable to have a picnic with friends. This is a very good idea, I think. Right? Then because I think if you're just like in the beginning of your dating, then you can see how this girl or this guy interacts with your friends. And it's a good, I think it helps you understand more if you're really going to be like good with this person, like good together with this person or not.
It's judgment time.
Yeah, and then at the same time, this is very affordable. Picnic is very affordable. Just like bring some stuff to eat, enjoy the weather, and then just have nice conversations with your friends, right? So I think it's a very good idea.
And bring the guitarra.
Yeah, and then in the Philippines, actually, you bring a guitar because everyone likes to sing, right? And then just someone would be playing music and then you start singing, right? That's very, very nice. Then where can you have a picnic? Luneta Park, Quezon City Circle. And Luneta Park, you can have a very nice picnic there. But usually I go there with, I think there were some mornings when I was a kid that Papa would just bring us all, me, Gilio, Mama, Eric, and then he would just take us to Parks and Wildlife and just have some picnic there. But usually we only have plantains. It's his favorite. He just boiled plantains and then we have it in the car and we're like, are we going to eat anywhere? And he will say, here's plantain. Okay. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. To have dinner and see a movie. Maghapunan at manood ng pelikula. To have dinner and see a movie. Magandang ideya ba ng date ang maghapunan at manood ng pelikula? Magandang ideya ba ng date ang maghapunan at manood ng pelikula? Is having dinner and seeing a movie a good idea for a date? This is a usual idea for a date, right? This is like what most people would do for a date. Now, I think if you're in a relationship for a long time, but if you're just starting, then you go first to a dinner and then you go to a movies, right? Go to the movies. Because then again, it's dark and then everyone is like much more beautiful people in dark places. Okay, so this is a very common idea. For a first date, I think it's very good idea, very safe. If you don't want anything like adventurous, anything that will like surprise your date so much and make him scared, right? Go for it. Sumakay ng ferry. Sumakay ng ferry. To take a ferry ride. Sumakay ng ferry. To take a ferry ride. Sumakay ng ferry si Jerry at Cherry para ipagdiwang ang kanilang ika-4 na taong anibersaryo. Sumakay ng ferry si Jerry at Cherry para ipagdiwang ang kanilang ika-4 na taong anibersaryo. Jerry and Cherry took a ferry ride to celebrate their 4-year anniversary. I think Jerry and Cherry are meant to be together.
And they're meant to
be in a ferry. Yeah, so if your name is Jerry and Cherry, then it's time to take a ferry, right? I think it's also a very romantic thing to do. Get on a ferry and then have like a cruise. I think there is like a ferry going to this small island near Manila. Maglakad sa beach. Maglakad sa beach. To walk on the beach. Maglakad sa beach. Or to walk on the beach. Nakita ko si Nino at Ninya na naglalakad sa beach habang magkahawak ng kamay. Nakita ko si Nino at Ninya na naglalakad sa beach habang magkahawak ang kamay. I saw Nino and Ninya walking on the beach while holding hands.
Aren't they like siblings?
No, I think they're just meant to be together. So again, if your name is Nino and Ninya and you're not siblings, you're meant to be together. Let's just make it clear, right? Yeah. And then you can walk along the beach, right? Holding hands. But this is also but if you're in the beach, right? With your, on the beach, with your girlfriend or boyfriend or any other loved one, it's time to hold their hands. And be romantic. Okay, so we've reached the end of the lesson and hope you learned something new. So what are your ideas? What are your ideas for a romantic date? So tell us in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Hanggang sa muli!